It's Cubs. It's Cards. Busch Stadium tied atop the National League Central Division. Darvish and Wainwright, by Vegas's standards, it is a Cub slight edge. I don't understand why, considering, well, you look at the numbers of Darvish and Wainwright, they're pretty equal. But if you look at the Cubs on the road, the worst team in the National League. Cards pretty good at home. Lot on the line here. And we'll see what happens. I know that will be something you and I, Mr. Norsworthy, will be watching very closely on opposite sides of the spectrum this evening.
We will. It'll be fun the next 3 nights in St. Louis. One afternoon game. Padres already up quickly on Drew's O's in the bottom of the first 3-zip. But at Busch Stadium, it should be fun tonight. The Cubs are a slight 125 favorite. Trying to find the over and under for tonight's game with that. John said around 9. I trust him. I assume that's the case.
John knows the line.
With 8.5 listed as now, 8.5. But with Darvish and Wainwright, both scuffling, both very average. Wainwright at the end, Darvish just hadn't worked out just so far in Chicago. All you have to do
is look at their ERA. They're both very similar, about 500 pitchers. But do we even look at that anymore? Seriously.
Oh, it doesn't matter. No,
do we even?
No, nothing matters in baseball.
Well, there are some things.
No, ERA doesn't matter.
ERA matters. I think ERA matters.
Wins don't matter.
Wins don't matter. No, they don't.
No.
Because you could have a 3-4-0 lead. Doesn't matter. You've hit 75 pitches. They're going, no. That's all we want, our starter. Get him out of there. Analytics tell you, get him out of there. You can't go through a lineup more than 2 times.
No. That would tax them too much. And they don't want to because there's just so many sliders in that elbow. There's a number. But batting average doesn't matter. RBIs don't matter. Wins
above replacement.
Oh, that's everything.
That matters.
Oh, man.
OPS.
Big. You can – diehard baseball fans, I think I'm among that. You can watch a segment on – now, and it's for diehard fans, but you can watch a segment on MLB Network, and if you're not diehard, it sounds like they're speaking a foreign language.
It is different.
Manel works some whip in.
It is. Oh, yeah.
Get around a little WAR.
Whip's been around for a long time. But WAR and OPS is, what is that, last 5 years?
It's Bill James created.
Yeah.
And it's smart. And it's measurables. And it's metrics and sabermetrics and sabermetricians. Very complicated out there in the baseball world. Hitting behind a runner does not matter.
Oh, no. Stealing a base doesn't matter.
You go through hitting a triple doesn't matter. You want to really separate yourself, but they don't want to do that. You be a stolen base guy and a triples hitter right now. I think the active leader in triples right now it's way down the list. I mean, nobody's ever going to crack a top 20 all time in triples anymore.
I have
because the ballparks are bandboxes.
Since you're bringing this up, this was going to be my top story of the day, but I'll pick another one because I really think this is interesting, and you've led us down this path of stats and analytics and everything else. So we know that basically, what is it, 28 hours from now or something like that, the trading deadline and the only trading deadline that we have this year, hammer drops. So let me ask you something.
24 hours.
Right? You know baseball. I'll be curious if you've got this because I was surprised when I read this today. All right, you ready? Give me the percentage of prospects who are traded at the deadline in the last 15 years who have played at least 2 years in Major League Baseball and have positive stats.
It's going to be astoundingly low.
It is. Because we're all sitting here going, we got to sell if we're trying to rebuild. We got to sell. We got to get prospects.
Total guess.
Yeah.
17%.
Close. A little bit low. It's 20.1%. 20%.
And Dave, forever, baseball historically, in one time, it was a Memphian. You know, the Mets had Memphian, and he was a good player and good guy. But the Mets had David West made out to be Steve Carlton. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And nobody's going to end up being Steve Carlton. Every organization so overvalues prospects and oversells that I think they all know, he's really not going to be all that. You know, every single Cardinal prospect left-handed pitcher ever was going to be the next Steve Carlton. And there hadn't been one since. There's not going to be one.
Is that the – I'd love to know because to me, prospects I've always thought were a little bit better in baseball than, let's just say, second-round draft choices in the NBA. That always –
I don't know
I'd
that.
love to know what the percentage
I would too,
of guys who end up playing in the NBA with positive stats for 2 or 3 years.
But that's somebody that's a top 60 player, at least in the draft.
True.
You know, that baseball prospect could be somebody from back.
But let's face it, that's 15 guys on a team, not your 40-man roster.
That's true.
And a whole farm system.
But, you know, forever we've just all lied so much about our prospects and their value, and then you wonder why that didn't work out for them.
Well, because you know what happens every time you throw in a guy who ends up being great somewhere else, you're going, oh, man, was that really worth doing that?
Yeah. You're right. You have that. And I think,
but I'm telling you, that only happens 1 out of 5 guys.
And I think across sports, everybody's kind of a little bit scared to get skunked. How do you go to that owner and we gave up? He wasn't in this, but we gave up Mike Trout, you know, for a guy that can't get anybody out. You're scared of having that.
Right.
I think tomorrow will be a whole lot of smoke for a bunch of guys to get somebody out in the 7th inning in October in a 4.5-hour game played in 40-degree weather in Cleveland or Boston or the roof open in Milwaukee or Wrigley or St. Louis.
It's so funny because I was reading much
about
this morning, and like there's a couple of people that are going, oh, yeah, we're going to have a big explosion here at the end of the trade deadline, and most people are going,
it's never that.
No, it's not going to happen. The Met deal yesterday might be the last one.
The Marcus Stroman deal, and when that was first announced Sunday afternoon, I really thought they would flip him again. It would be one of those Mike Piazza, if you blink, you missed him as a Florida Marlin.
I think they're just trying to keep all these pitching prospects to make trades in the winter. Or at least that was speculation that I read.
I think there's a lot of positioning for offseason.
I do.
But think about offseason now. We don't really have a good offseason in baseball like we used to. We don't have the hot stove league like we used to.
Didn't a couple of years, was it last year or the year before, there was a lot of trades at the winter meetings? A lot of swaps.
But Blockbuster. Holy cow, can you believe they traded so much? That's rare.
Yeah.
It is. It's really rare. Now.
You know why it's rare? Because of free agency.
Mm-hmm. And, and Charlie O'Finley's answer to free agency was everybody have a year-to-year deal.
Exactly.
You ring the bell.
Yeah.
You ring right now in Major League Baseball, according to baseballreference.com, the current leader playing today, who leads in career triples, and what number? Just what number? It's Curtis Granderson. What number all time where do you think he ranks?
Oh, for this period of time in a season? Are you talking about for a whole season?
No, for all time. His number of triples in his career. Where does that rank in the all-time triple list? And he is
way down.
184. 184.
Right, but that's not just the ball game anymore.
It's the ballpark.
That's the ballpark. Exactly.
The next person is Dexter Fowler at 262.
Oh my gosh!
After Dexter Fowler, the next active player. Oh my goodness! I mean, you just keep rolling on. I'm still going.
Well, so let's just say the triple is about
Brett Gardner at 438.
The triple is about as pertinent now as numbers of wins by a starter.
No, I think wins still. I mean, you have a 20-win season, still magic.
Who's going to have a 20-win season?
You still going to have one. You could have one or two. Scherzer could.
What has he got, 11 or 12 now?
Yeah, and he's been rolling. All-time triples leader, Sam Crawford with 309. Ty Cobb with 295.
When did Sam Crawford play?
I'm going to say a long time ago.
Big ballparks and not a lot of home runs.
National parks, state parks, the Everglades. Born in Wahoo, Nebraska on April 18th, 1880, Sam Crawford.
Here we go.
Played for Cincinnati.
You're talking more than 100 years ago.
Detroit. His last big league season at the age of 37, 1917. White Sox threw a World Series that year, didn't they?
No, 1919.
19, okay, close.
Close. Black Sox scandal.
Yeah.
Still hurts.
What was
hurts.
it like in Chicago then, Dave?
Well,
were you around then?
Yeah, the Roaring 20s were right around the corner.
Well, they roared.
It was good times.
Oh, Sam Crawford.
20s were good times, buddy.
Sam Crawford, Hall of Famer.
Hope the 20s are going to be as good as they were a century ago.
Yeah, don't we all?
I really do.
I don't know. The end of the 20s last century got a little rough on the market.
We did get some golf news, and I bring this up because I'm going to give you the rundown here.
Yeah.
Coming up in
one more visit.
Roughly 18 minutes, one last visit from Darrell Smith, the WGC FESJI Tournament Director, Brent Beard at 4, and we'll talk, obviously, some college football. 5 o'clock, Beau Marchant, and do we have a football game Thursday night?
We do. The Falcons and the Broncos.
Yeah. Wow.
Rematch of a Super Bowl. Super Bowl 33.
Wow.
And it is pertinent to my top story of the day that year, the Broncos, when they won.
We'll get to that momentarily. One quick golf note before we get to the top and not top, and that is the PGA Tour has decided that they are going to change the cut line. It has always been 70 and ties get to play on Saturday and Sunday, meaning
out of 156, they're cutting the entry field too.
They are able to make money only on Saturday and Sunday. You've just taken 5 paychecks away. I'm amazed the players are not up in arms about this.
The management side, there's that, they wanted more. They wanted it to be 60. The tour policy board, the players negotiated out to 65. But your fields now, instead of like before this year, we used to be 156.
Right.
It's going to be 144 and less at a lot of places.
I didn't see that part of it. That's also a part of this deal.
That's cutting opportunity.
You're not kidding. You're taking a bunch of guys who are going to have to go back to whatever the web.com tour Corn Ferry Tour.
And a lot of guys that won this year and got that 2-year exemption. Timing.
Yeah,
it was good timing for them.
But it doesn't matter.
A guy like Jimmy Herman that won 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he
only made 4 cuts all year.
But here's the problem: if there's enough by World Golf Ranking that are above him that want to play and get in, he's out.
Yeah, and last week at Barbasol or 2 weeks ago at Barbasol and last week at the Barracuda, a lot of exemptions go with it and the 2-year status, but not ticket punch to Augusta.
This is amazing. So the Player Advisory Council and the Policy Board voted last month to reduce top 36 hole cut from the 70 to 65 in ties. But the new rule also eliminates the 54 hole cuts, which was a secondary cut. So a few more guys up to 78 players were still making some money, even though they didn't even play.
The old made cut didn't finish on Sunday.
Correct. So that guy is out.
The MDF.
So really what they're doing here is they're letting the rich get richer. Because they're certainly not taking money from the purse. They're just letting those 65 guys share the wealth.
Not only is purse not going down, they'll go up.
Oh, yeah.
Smidge.
And it'll go only to 65 and not 70 or 78.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you're established, well, it's like everything else. If you're established, you don't mind the establishment winning.
Well, you're getting more money.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
but if you're a middle-of-the-road guy and you've just been scratching it out, hoping to finally make it, it's just become a lot harder.
It did. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis, 2600 Ridgeway, and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Give them a call at 901-362-8833. Lexus of Memphis offering the golden opportunity late summer sales event. Great offers on all 2019 models and always on the special lease option. If you ever thought I'd look great in a Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus of Memphis thinks you would look great in a Lexus too. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2019 flagship LS500, and you will be looking and driving great in style. Lexus of Memphis, the high standards in the industry. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design that makes for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com, 362-8833. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, this is kind of shocking. Jill Ellis, the only coach ever to win 2 Women's World Cups, is stepping down as head coach of the U.S. Women's National Team.
Is there a why? I saw the headline.
It's coming up. Yeah. They announced she's going to step down after the women's team is on this tour, playing exhibitions. And
friendlies,
that thing come to an end in October. She's 52. She said, when I accepted the head coaching position, this was the time frame I envisioned. The timing's right to move on, and the program is positioned to remain at the pinnacle of women's soccer. Change is something I've always embraced in my life, and for me and for my family, it's the right moment. Ellis told ESPN's Graham Hayes that being U.S. national coach calls for a fresh perspective. She said several elements led to her decision, most importantly, the opportunity to make her daughter a priority as she enters high school. She also believes the timing was right for a new coach to take over entering a major tournament.
And what a contrast. Will we ever see the day where there will be the sorrow and the lament and the regret from the sporting world over a U.S. men's national team coach going out like that? Because she's the champ.
Only one ever to win 2.
And good timing, because from this point, it's a little bit like Gino Auriemma.
Well,
can he keep winning like that?
Yes.
Can she on that world stage? They got closer this year.
It's a lot tougher.
Got closer.
It's a lot tougher.
And the rest of the world catching up as the men try to catch up and someday maybe be in that position. My top story, Ezekiel Elliott, he sits. He holds out. Jerry Jones made a good point. And it ties to that 1998 Broncos Super Bowl win over the Falcons, the rematch of the Super Bowl that will be played Thursday night at Fawcett Stadium in Canton, Ohio. That was the last time a league rushing champion was on a Super Bowl winning team. Terrell Davis that year for the Broncos. The only other time to even get to a Super Bowl since then was Shaun Alexander for the Seahawks in 2005.
Let me get this right. The last time the rushing champion of the league
was on a Super Bowl winner
was
team.
On a Super Bowl winner.
1998.
1998.
Terrell Davis. Jerry Jones with that nugget about Zeke Elliott. And the last time the rushing champ was even in the Super Bowl was Shaun Alexander in defeat.
I got to tell you, that shows you how much the game has changed, because
it's a passing first league.
It almost seems impossible that could be the case.
Dave, we lived long enough that 3rd and 2 was a passing game.
You're telling me 21 years ago is the last time that occurred in a game that we all believe you've got to be able to run to pass the ball.
Now, I still think you have to run the ball from, I'm just using a date, December 10th through that first Sunday of February, through the Super Bowl. But I don't think it matters in September, October, November anymore like it used to. But when you get to the playoffs, you better win the rushing battle.
Was Marshawn Lynch the number 1 running back that year that they gave the Super Bowl?
No, he was not the rushing leader. But you had Terrell Davis, who went to the Hall of Fame in a really compacted career. It was a short number of years for him. You had
most running backs are.
And Shaun Alexander was MVP that year and was leading rusher of that Super Bowl, but they lost to Jerome Bettis and Hines Ward and Ben Roethlisberger.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I think Lynch had Pete Carroll said run the football,
they would have won.
They would have won, and was he the number 1 running back that year?
He was not.
He was not. Okay.
Terrell Davis was the last one.
No. Oh, but had they won that?
No.
Okay.
Shaun Alexander was the last one, even in defeat. So running the football and stopping the run in the NFL, it doesn't matter as much anymore early in the year.
No.
You get to playoff time. Defense and running the ball travels.
I'm beginning to think more and more passing accuracy is becoming the one to take a look at.
Out of 53 Super Bowls, it's about 77% the winner of the game won the rushing battle.
77%?
out of 53. But you ought to look at it through the years.
But that's down.
It's
because
really
I remember you
down.
giving that stat years ago.
And it was about 77% through 40 games. It really hadn't been added to.
Okay.
Not top story of the day.
This is unbelievable. So Doug Barron tied for 5th at the British Senior Open at
Royal Lytham.
Royal Lytham. Got $73,000, basically, right? You know what he got as far as status on the senior tour? Zippo. Nada. Nothing.
It's rough out there.
And his schedule a week from Monday is to go somewhere northeast, forget where they are, and he's got to go Monday qualify. A week from this coming month, week and a half from now.
Got him nothing.
Got him nothing. You go out, got him $73,000. 65,000 euro.
What?
Oh, it's nice money, but he knows he's going to try to get some exemptions. He's going to have David Toms is his good buddy who's doing well there. Lauren Roberts is his good buddy who's going to try to put in a word with sponsors along the way.
These golf tours are Darwinism.
But this is weird. Had he been a top 10 guy at a regular tour event, a regular senior event, he would have had status for the next week, 1 week, right? He also is like, he's a pro. I can't remember what number he told me, but he's a pro. You know, the 73,000 went a long way because the purses aren't that big on the senior tour,
except for the winner.
The winner gets like 250. The bottom line is, you know, if he could get top, whatever it is, then I think he's like 183 now at that. So he's got a little bit of work to do. But now he's got to hope to get sponsors exemptions, or he's going to have to Monday qualify all these times. And that 5th place finish in a major means nothing except the money.
My not top story, the Golden Tate appeal of his suspension. It's very well presented. It's very thought out. He did his due diligence. The bad thing about it, he did it all after he took the supplement. He should have thought about all that stuff before he put anything in his mouth. He's not going to win his appeal. He's going to miss the 4 games. That's going to make the Giants even worse with the injuries they've already had in trading OBJ, and now Golden Tate's going to be out. He's not going to win his appeal. He shouldn't. They have to know all that stuff he now knows before they put an M&M in their mouth.
Wow. And those are your top and not top stories. We're sitting in the Family Leisure Studios, and I got good news for all of you. That pool clearance sale that I talked about for so long, it has been extended through August the 4th. That means all those above-ground pools start at under $1,200, 24-foot pools, the bigger ones. Start at only $17.99. You still get the free upgrades, pool filters and liners and winter covers all on these select pools, and you can still save up to 50% on toys, floats, and pool games. Why buy now? Still plenty of time to swim. Summer just started, plus you beat next year's prices. They do have special 12-month financing still available. All you've got to do is get to I-40 and Whidden Road, 70,000 square feet of family and fun all coming together at Family Leisure. Back in a minute, we'll touch base with Daryl Smith from the WGC FESJI. That's next on this Tuesday edition of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutoSales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
At Walgreens, we know that your day doesn't stop for diabetes. So when you've got places to go and people to see, count on Walgreens every day to get expert diabetes advice 24/7. Find all major brands of testing supplies like Walgreens True Metrics in-store and online. And download tools to help you stay on track, like our 5-star mobile app with Pill Reminder. At Walgreens, we are your diabetes go-to. Stop by and talk to your pharmacist today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
This is what Flo from Progressive sounds like in one of our many hilarious commercials.
And basic motorcycle policies start at just $75 a year. I know, right? Do you think I say I know, right, too often? I do. I know, right? I have to stop, don't I? I know.
And this is what that same commercial sounds like on your motorcycle. Yeah, even our commercials are better on a bike. Progressive keeps you on yours. Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Right. William Ritter quoted that in a sermon and went on to make 2 big points. 1, words do hurt. They also heal. 2, feelings need to be expressed. Love must be spoken. A listener penned these words as an offering to a response to his preacher's sermon. Sticks and stones are hard on bones when cast with angry art, and words can sting like anything, but silence breaks the heart. Well said. We need to speak our love out loud. We need to ask our little children how much they love us and revel at the outstretched arms as they exclaim, "The whole world full." It's not a game to be played. It's a practice to incorporate in our relationships, telling people that we do care, that our love is real and as big as the world. I'm Shane Stanford from Christchurch, Memphis. Remember, you matter.
Visit ChristchurchMemphis.org.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now, back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Wolochen and Brett Norsworthy.
Welcome back in on this Tuesday. What a weekend it was. We
don't want to let it go.
Been marveling at it. We get the final word now from the WGC FESJI.
I bet he doesn't want to let it go either, but a little sleep probably wouldn't hurt.
Well, I'm sure he's had some by now. Daryl, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Everything's good. Just, coming off a phenomenal week here at TPC Southwind and trying to get everything pulled off this golf course and turned it back over to the membership at TPC Southwind, but all is well.
Have you reintroduced yourself to your wife and children?
I did. I did that late last night. That was a lot of fun. So the kids were excited and eager to see me, and we were definitely up a little later than normal, trying to make sure that we could play all the games that they had in store for me and all the things they needed to tell me. But it was good to be back home and see those guys, and it's all good.
So you get a lot of feedback. I know you look for all the positives and what you can do better. Give us a sense of what the grades were like.
Yeah, I think we had a phenomenal week. I don't think that I think that everybody that came out to the golf tournament and experienced the first playing of a World Golf Championship, I think they left extremely impressed. I think it was a solid week all the way around from a player's perspective, from a fan's perspective. A lot of our fans enjoyed all the new enhancements that we made here on site, and all those were extremely popular. And then the the players raved about TPC Southwind, especially the greens, and thought that the golf course was phenomenal. So that's always a positive, and I think a lot of them probably were wondering why it took a WGC for them to come here in the first place. So, I mean, overall, it's been a very successful week, but there's always room for improvement. You know, everybody on our staff has a list that's several items long of things that we can do better, that we can continue to improve, things that we can debut and you know, bring on site here at the golf tournament moving forward. So, but we're very, very proud of what we accomplished this past week, and it took a total team effort and total community effort, and we're going to you know, savor this one as the first playing of a WGC and, you know, celebrate the accomplishments, but we're going to move forward and introduce some new things moving forward.
Daryl, purely selfish here on my part. I don't want to drag you into it. Look, the low man wins, but I was glad that our champion for the inaugural WGC event was maybe not a Memphis lifer, but it wasn't a guy that just kind of parachuted in here for a WGC and the bigger purse and the no cut. I was glad it was a guy that had some familiarity with Memphis, and I think that played into his victory.
Yeah, I mean, I was too. I mean, you know, we had an unbelievable final pairing with Brooks and with Rory, and while Rory has played here, Brooks has been here quite often over the last 6 years, and you know, I just think, you know, having a guy like Brooks, who's, you know, the most dominating player in the game of golf, has played TPC Southwind for 6 straight years. He's played well here, speaks extremely high of the place, has really, you know, taken to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and been moved by it. It was good that the first playing of WGC is a familiar face and one that has meant so much to this tournament over the last 60-plus years, and especially over the last 6 years. I mean, Brooks has been here with us for quite some time, and it was almost rewarding for us to see a guy like Brooks. You know, he's been knocking on the door of getting a victory here in Memphis, and for him to get his first victory at the WGC and his first WGC title is pretty special.
I was amazed at the crowds. They looked double a normal Sunday. Thursday looked like most Sundays. I know you got an official.
Wednesday was amazing.
Scan. Oh, I know. I know you got an official scan count now for the first time. Are these numbers astounding?
Yeah, I mean, we're extremely excited about what the attendance was. I mean, it was definitely larger, you know, from what we've had in the past. You know, the numbers in Memphis. You know, we knew they were going to come out and support a WGC. I mean, you have 45 of the top 50 players in the world. It makes things a little bit easier at the end of the day when you have this quality of field. And then you also, you know, we had great weather, and you know, we can't control the weather, but we take the credit for it. It's kind of my saying, but
sure.
you know, like 5 days of great weather. Yeah, I get the blame as well. So we take the credit for it when it's good. But a lot of things play into attendance, and I think the field played into the attendance, of course. I think the newness of a WGC. I think some of the new things we have done on site, but also think that you know, weather and the competition played a significant role in that, and we're really excited about the number of people that we had here. We also realized that, hey, there's a lot of room for more people here on site. You know, the golf course became much more well-traveled this past year with the WGC, and I think there's room for, you know, an immense amount of growth as far as on-site spectators in the future, and that's what we're going to be focused on.
We had some very, very nice callers that, by no means that were they being critical. We asked our callers yesterday for highlights and things that could be improved, and a couple mentioned maybe some more grandstands, maybe one behind 8, maybe the return of one behind 1. I know that's on that big list. Did you have anything that just was paramount that just jumped out to you like that, Daryl, that just walking around you thought, yeah, we can do that next year, and we can do that easily?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think that there's things that, you know, we on our list that are similar in nature. I mean, we love grandstands on 1, and we've had them there in the past. We haven't built any in the past, you know, 2 or 3 years, just due to the fact that, you know, a lot of times once plays through 1, they're empty. You know, they're full for a certain amount of time, but then they're empty the rest of the day. Our new public bleachers that we debuted this year, I mean, they were well utilized. So we'll definitely look for other areas of the golf course where we can put those up. And but all in all, I mean, I think that most of our you know, things that we want to improve on are probably behind the scenes and infrastructure improvements. You know, player movement around the clubhouse was challenging at times with golf carts and players and all the things that go into that.
Yeah, it was a lot of traffic.
Our new range has you know, complicated things a little bit because everything's built back towards our clubhouse, and when you have the numbers of people that we had here on site, some of those things are, you know, it's hard to maneuver. So a lot of our stuff is going to be focused on on things like that will be a more pleasant experience for the golfers and the fans, and just trying to get a little bit better control over the gallery in general.
You mentioned it could be bigger in the future, and I don't know if this new date for next year or how long that even lasts, but next year over the July 4th holiday, and it will be 2 weeks after the U.S. Open and 2 weeks prior to the British. How will that affect, do you think, your ability to draw more fans? And we know it could mean somebody coming.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think, from a player attendance wise, I don't know how much the date really matters. I think being a WGC matters more than anything when you look at just a player, in a field depth, is that, hey, you're at World Golf Championship, and history shows that most of the guys play that. So we are excited about our date. We think that being played over a 4th of July weekend is going to be a lot of fun. It'll give us an opportunity to do some different things, probably later at the golf course or somewhere in our city that will celebrate the holiday. So that's always an exciting thing for us. And, we really want to attract the entire region of Memphis to come to Memphis and spend the holiday weekend and watch the best players in the world. And, hey, there could be a concert, a fireworks show, or a collection of, both of those things that
all
we'll
the above.
do. Yeah, with the new date. So, the date is always going to be moving. I mean, I think that, there's always volatility in the date, especially where we are later in the summer when it comes to Olympic years. So the Olympics will always dictate some volatility unless you're played before the Olympics, which in the past the FedEx Century Classic was always played before the Olympics, so it wasn't near as much volatility when we got to the month of July. But now that we're played in July, the date will change. I don't think it'll have any impact whatsoever as far as the player field. I think it'll be it could be a little bit better. When you have 45 in the top 50, it's hard to say it's going to be.
Yeah.
It could be worse. I'll be honest. I mean, we could get 48 to 49 in the top 50 or 50 in the top 50. But I think that, what we saw this year is that the date doesn't have much impact for the guys. I mean, we're the week after the Open Championship, and at the end of the day, I think that the guys that didn't play us, I don't think it was necessarily because of the date. I think it was because of other factors and other issues.
That's right. And I think the date for 2020, that July 4th weekend, the 2nd through the 5th, that would be about as early as you would ever have to go, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I don't think we'd ever, I don't think that you'll see us get into the May or June, but you never know. I mean, there's so much moving parts in a 49 tournament schedule. We're playing 52 weeks in a year, and we've got 49 tournaments on the PGA Tour schedule next year. So there's always a lot of moving parts. I mean, we like the later date from an agronomy standpoint, from a golf course. It does give us time to do more things to the golf course. It gives us time if we are going to make some modifications to the golf course after our tournament. It gives us just a little bit more time to get that, get that planted and the grass planted and everything, going in the right direction. So, we really do like that, that late July date. And, I think that after the 2020 tournament, I think we'd be somewhere in that same, something similar we have this year.
Take our listeners, if you can, Daryl, take our listeners to what happened on Sunday after the CBS cameras went off, after the green ceremony with Dave and many others. After that was over, the media obligation. What was the rest of Sunday night like for y'all with the champ, with Brooks Koepka, and what time did y'all bid farewell to him and get him on his plane and out of Memphis?
Yeah, it was pretty laid back. It was pretty casual. Brooks said in his post-round interview that he didn't feel that great all week. But Brooks was extremely generous with his time. After we did media and his media obligations in the media center, there really is just a handful of people inside the TPC Southwind clubhouse just kind of, chatting and relaxing and just really pretty calm, talking a little bit about the week and how much, Memphis really means to Brooks, and that he's, and his attendance here in the past, 6 years has proven that. Brooks flew out that night at 7:30. So he left the TPC Southwind right around 7:10, 7:15, and he was in the air by 7:30, 7:35. But we said our goodbyes and just said how much it means for him to win here, and how much is a special place for him, and how much he loves TPC Southwind, and this tournament has been great for so many years, and but how excited he is about the the elevation to a World Golf Championship, because the tournament deserves it, and it deserves a lot of notoriety for what it's become. And then he was on his way. So it was pretty casual. It wasn't a bunch of big partying or anything like that, but it was a nice time and a nice chat with him, and it was good to spend some time with Brooks.
It was interesting to me too that because of the date where it was this year, you may never see a guy win more on a Sunday than he did, except for the FedEx Cup when they give him it. That's for the playoffs. But when you win your $1.74 million, then let's add in the $2 million Wyndham. Oh, let's add in the Aon $1 million. That was $4.75 million he made this weekend.
Yeah, it was a very lucrative day for Brooks. There's no question about it. It was he locked up a lot of money on Sunday. Our purse is one of the top 10 purses globally in all of golf at $10.25 million, and for him to win that, it was just shy of $2 million. And then, his victory basically made it. Mathematically, he won the Wyndham Awards regardless of what happens at the Wyndham Championship this week. So that gives him another $2 million. And while he's not 100%. Won the Aon Risk Reward Challenge. He's 99.9% sure, because there would have to be some two double eagles, I believe, made on one particular hole this week by one certain player if he was going to get that taken away from him. So I think he feels pretty comfortable about that. So it was a very very big day for him. He's going to take a week off and down in Jupiter, and then he's going to hopefully play well in the FedEx Cup playoffs. Brooks unfortunately hasn't played that well in FedEx Cup playoff events. And, really has, he's always set himself up for great success come the FedEx Cup and Tour Championship, just because he's been so dominating. But the playoffs is an area of the schedule he hasn't played up to his ability. So I know he's really focused on that. He would love to win the FedEx Cup. And I think, I would argue right now that he's already going to be the player of the year, regardless, whatever happens in the FedEx Cup.
Would you like to?
I agree.
Would you like to have his next 5 years?
I would love it.
Yeah.
But this year, what he had, he wins a major, he wins a WGC, he was top 4 at worst in the other 3 majors.
Right.
He gets his first WGC. 7th tournament, yeah.
Life's good.
I don't see how he's not player of the year this year at all, unless Tiger. The only way would be if Tiger won the Cup.
Yeah, I think that Brooks. He's at the end of the day. Brooks Koepka. He's the best player in the world, and I think that people are starting to realize that. I really do. I think that people are starting to realize that he is the best player in the world. His performance in the biggest tournaments in the world. It's really mind blowing how well he has played in majors and in the biggest golf tournaments in the world. So, and I think he has that confidence and that you need when you're the best player in the world. I think that Brooks Koepka will hold on to the number 1 ranking in the official World Golf Rankings for quite some time. I don't see that as something that's going to be that he's going to relinquish very easily. Just because of the level that he's been playing at over the last 2 years. And then, every single week, and the bigger the stage it gets, it seems like the better he plays. So, time will tell to see what Brooks's whole career looks like. But I'm just thrilled that he's our champion. He's been so loyal to Memphis over the years, and I can't think of a better first World Golf Championship winner than Brooks.
Last thing for Darrell Smith, tournament director of the WGC FESJI. And that's the news that came out today, that the PGA and their board and the players have all agreed, and this is something you don't have to worry about with your tournament, but they're going to drop the cut from 70 in ties to 65 in ties, and those that used to get a pay cut up to 78 players by not even playing on Sunday, those are no longer going to be in vogue. It's a little different philosophy. Give me your take on it.
Yeah, I think that the secondary cut has always been a little bit of a challenging overall. Just got a lot of guys that are going to stick around and play on Saturday and, then cut again, Saturday evening to get the field lower come Sunday. So, of course, we won't have to worry about that, like you said, this year, just because we're a no-cut event. This year we saw some uniqueness being a no-cut event and the size of our field. We had 63 players that ended up teeing it up here at TPC Southwind this year. We thought that field would be a little bit larger, than it was, but just due to the fields around the world and different schedules, we didn't get quite a number of tournaments that were eligible for their winner to be eligible to play here in Memphis. So I think it's the right move overall. I think it's we'll simplify things on the weekend for tournament organizers and competitions. And I think that if the players decided that was the best thing for them, then it sounds like it's probably been on the players' minds for quite some time. So it sounds like a good move overall.
He is Daryl Smith, and I know you got a big
Daryl.
smile on your face. It'll be a while, I guess, since you got to be taking some vacation, but we'll
got a tournament in 52 weeks.
Soon. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. No, we're
or less than
excited.
that.
We appreciate all of Memphis and all of the support that you guys have given us, throughout the year and especially last week. And we're just excited about the WGC, and we got a very, very bright future here in Memphis.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank y'all.
Got a tournament in about 49 weeks.
That's right, because it's earlier.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. No doubt.
Yeah, time will move. Part of our sponsorship last week at the golf tournament, and the week before that at SEC Media Days, and you're around with us. It's Jason's Deli. It's where I was today for lunch. All the great salads like the Mesa chicken salad, the chicken club salad, the nutty mixed up salad, the Big Chef salad, the taco salad. You can get the original. That's a large portion, or the lighter portion. That is the lighter portion. It's plenty. All the meats, all the cheeses, all the breads, all the spreads, all very fresh. And you can build your own sandwich like the Reuben, the Big E's Deli Burger, the Beef Eater, the Deli Cowboy. All those sandwiches, all those soups, all those salads, all at Jason's Deli. Healthy, first franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. It's all about choice at Jason's Deli, regardless if you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, or you want to build your own, you can do it at Jason's Deli at these locations: Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. The salad bar, over 30 items just on the salad bar, and catering anytime, anywhere. And the ice cream in the restaurants on Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
And this portion of the show brought to you by Ken Garland, Custom Home Builders. Man, I was walking around a whole bunch on Southwind, and I could remember Ken's website, kengarland.com, and I was going, whoa.
Built that one?
That's a Ken Garland home. Oh, I believe that was a Ken Garland renovation. Renovation with innovation, taking that older home, putting all the new modern amenities in it. That's what he specializes in. Let's face it, Ken is a complete design and build firm. He's with you all the way. He doesn't send a super or foreman. He's there for the blueprints. He's there for hammering that final nail in your home. And I'm telling you, it is beautiful stuff, and 40 years of experience. Go to kengarland.com again, then give Ken a call, 751-1632. He'll chat with you. If you've got land that you're not sure how to use, he'll have a plan. If you're looking for land, he's got that too. Ken Garland, Custom Home Builders. Back in a minute, we put a wrap on our number one of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
The Peter Edmiston Experience with C.J. Hurt. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Have you noticed your air conditioning system never breaks down at a good time? We know at Conway Services the timing is never right to replace your air conditioning system. That's why we have financing options. Right now, during the dog days of summer, get your new Carrier air conditioning system as low as $99 per month. That's right, Conway Services has new Carrier air conditioning systems as low as $99 per month. Now, you can do that. Plus, your new air conditioning system comes with a 10-year parts warranty and a free programmable thermostat. And you know with Conway Services, you'll be receiving our award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. That's 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old air conditioning system will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infiniti of Memphis, and we've got a new Infiniti crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like two engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own, and only Infiniti has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And the new QX50 offers more horsepower than its Audi, Lexus, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
Infinity of Memphis and online at infinityofmemphis.com.
Hey everybody, the All-Star Chevy Challenge is here. And I'm telling you, if it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is the place to go, people. Take your best written deal from any Mid-South Chevy dealer to our friends at All-Star Chevrolet, and they will beat it. Or they're going to give you a free tank of gas for the win. So now that I got your attention, yes, July is All-Star Challenge month, when you get to let All-Star Chevy beat that deal on any new Chevy or even pre-owned vehicle you want. Just take the official written deal from any other Chevy dealer, not that one your friend wrote down at the bar, and take it to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. It's that simple. Not only that, they have the best testing ground of any other Chevy dealership, and when you head to All-Star Chevy, you know you got the best deal. So find new roads to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch and take the All-Star Challenge. Not in South Haven, it's gotta be Olive Branch. Or go to allstarautogroup.com right now and be amazed by all the hot new Chevys and pre-owned vehicles they have in stock. Don't miss the All-Star Chevy Challenge. You will thank me later.
This is what Flo from Progressive sounds like in one of our many hilarious commercials.
And basic motorcycle policies start at just $75 a year. I know, right? Do you think I say I know, right, too often? I do. I know, right? I have to stop, don't I? I know.
And this is what that same commercial sounds like on your motorcycle.
I know.
Yeah, even our commercials are better on a bike. Progressive keeps you on yours. Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
Now, back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
We like to party.
Welcome in, Wolo and Stats with you. We just feel like giving today. That's honest. We're that way. We're givers. We're all still high and feeling good about the WGC.
Natural high, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the only way I meant it.
Natural high. Everybody in the building perked up on the high.
Everybody knows. Yeah, that's well in your past.
Well, let's not go down that road.
So here's what
even in your steamboat past.
Yeah, well, I got news
when you
for
burn a house down.
My steamboat, that had nothing to do with
torch to home.
That was faulty wiring in a double ceiling.
Man, what a party in the 70s when you torch a house.
You know, that was
it was the 70s.
It was the 70s, you know, that it was accepted back
Incense
then.
and peppermints. Strawberry alarm.
That's a great song. By
it
the
is.
Way. Go look that up. Incense, peppermints. We want to give away WWE tickets. We got these are really good.
Wrestling.
Drew, go give me the numbers on these tickets. What are they?
Both set of tickets are in section 111.
Oh, yeah,
both are
sweet.
in row R.
Oh wow!
What's the date on?
Today.
Tonight.
You
You
got to
going?
get here quick. No,
You going to the wrestling?
no. I got a big date. In front of my TV, watching the good guys from the north side take on the enemy.
Take on the birds.
Take on the birds.
2 birds, 1 bat, Dave. But
Two
wrestling
birds,
tickets
one bat.
tonight.
But that doesn't mean everybody wants to watch that. It's the beauty of the world.
It'll be fun.
And we've got 2 sets of tickets. So to caller number 4 and caller number 6 at the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255. You call if you're 4 and 6. You will get these great tickets. 2 pair we're giving away. So caller number 4 gets the first set. Caller number 6 gets the second. And go and watch because somebody is going to have a stunning upset tonight. I've seen the script.
Don't give it away, Dave. Don't give it away.
And I'm lying. I've not seen the script.
You've never been involved in the wrestling, have you? Have you ever seen the script? You ever been a part of one?
No. I like Jerry Lawler, though. He's a buddy.
He's seen the script.
I think he's probably written a few.
360-8255.
Do you know how many, like that WW Raw that he used to be involved in the broadcast? You know, like they have 17 writers. I'm not making that up. It's amazing. The production,
multi-million-dollar company,
and the work that goes into those.
Look at the McMahons.
Look at his net worth.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
It is.
Hey, he's starting a football league. That's throwing money away.
In Chicago, when you were a tot, where was the wrestling? Was it downtown? We got winners. We got winners.
We got our winners. I knew it would not take long.
Would it be where the Bulls
I want to say it was at the amphitheater. The Bulls actually played in the amphitheater for a minute. I don't know why.
Stags played there too, didn't they?
Maybe it was the Stags that played there, and the Bulls always played.
Who was
in the
big
Chicago
guy?
Stadium.
Bruno Sammartino?
No. The big guys
Vern
around
Gagne?
when I was a kid. So you were not even a gleam in your daddy's eye. But when I was a kid, Moose Gagne, Vern Gagne, Moose Savage.
I don't remember.
Maybe that was it. And Dick the Bruiser.
Oh, Dick the Bruiser.
Dick the Bruiser, Vern Gagne, and Moose something. Moose.
That was Moose Gowrie.
Somebody.
Wasn't Moose Gowrie.
No, it was not Moose.
That was
Moose
baseball
Gowrie.
player. He played a real sport.
Moose was from Minnesota.
Vern Gagne, in the Minneapolis airport, when you land there, they have a wrestling hall of fame in the airport of
I gotta Google. This is gonna kill me.
Of canonized wrestlers.
Somebody let us know. What was Moose's last name? Dying. Come on.
I don't remember him. But Bruno Sammartino wasn't in that mix?
No, I don't remember.
He was kind of
him.
from
I don't remember.
up there.
I'm not getting it. I'll find out. Somebody's gonna.
Somebody will let us.
Somebody will text us.
All the wrestling aficionados here.
I wish I could remember. Isn't that terrible? He was a good guy. He was like a good guy.
Well, he might have been in Chicago.
It's true.
And in
You
Minneapolis,
never know
he
what the
jumps
script
crazy on
said
you.
somewhere else.
He jumps crazy on you, and he's a ball of fire.
That's an hour in the books. We talk some college football. Brent Beard will join us in just a minute. Anybody knows who Moose was? He was either Minnesota or Wisconsin. Could have been a Wisconsin guy. Let me know. It's killing me. Lawler, if you're listening, please let me know. This is the Tuesday edition of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's you, Jamie. Don't hang up. You need to hear this. You gotta quit wearing that aviator jacket. Nobody's buying it. Sorry you have to hear it from me, but at Progressive, we're all about giving it to people straight. That's why we show our rates alongside our competitors' rates. And when you're helping people find great rates, you don't need some jacket to look cool. Just keep rocking that scarf.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparisons not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Looking for great seafood? Head to the Half Shell, voted Memphis's favorite seafood 5 years in a row. Enjoy delicious seafood at the Half Shell for lunch and dinner, along with the Half Shell's extensive new wine list. Or relax at the bar, open daily until 3 a.m. For a great weekend, try Saturday and Sunday brunch at the Half Shell from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Half Shell, always Memphis's favorite. Available for private parties, catering, and daily box lunch delivery. The Half Shell, serving full food menu till 2 a.m. daily. 2 locations on Mendenhall and on Winchester.
Introducing Top Tracer Range, the new ball tracking and gaming system at Golf and Games Family Park. Top Tracer gathers data such as distance, carry, ball speed, and more. Compete against friends in a points game, long drive, and virtual golf at courses such as Pebble Beach and St. Andrews. Golf and Games Family Park is a great setting for group and company outings, golf lessons, or individual practice. Experience fun, friends, family, and introducing Top Tracer Range, the new ball tracking and gaming system at Golf and Games Family Park, 5484 Summer Avenue.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment, DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutoSales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
All right, you found him. I never heard of him, Dave.
Moose Cholak.
He sounds like a bad guy.
Oh, he's
he
huge.
was a good guy.
I showed you. Yeah, he was a good guy. That I remember he was.
Wonder if he ever ran into the fabulous one.
Vern Gagne was the best of the good guys. Dick the Bruiser, I think, was a bad guy.
Luthez was a good guy. All scientific. Remember, he'd never go dirty. He'd keep it clean.
Not 100% sure if this is true, but my dad texted me, said Dick the Bruiser is from Reno and once broke my grandfather's shoulder.
Whoa.
I have to figure out the story behind it.
It's going down for real.
Apparently.
Dick the Bruiser was tough. I'm telling you, he was a bad guy. He was tough.
He was. He mixed it up. He was a dirty son of a gun. Broke your granddad's shoulder.
Apparently. My granddad is from Reno, so it could check out. But I'll have to wait till I get the full story.
What a great story. Yeah. I think Dick Bruiser was mean in every city. He was mean. He wasn't a good guy in one town on Monday night and
he liked
a bad
being
guy on
I
Friday
guess he
night
liked being a mean guy. Well, let's see. Because I think Brent is somewhat close to my age. Brent Beard, our man down in Jacksonville, Florida. We love him for college football. He's a historian of all.
We gave away WWE tickets, and look what we went down.
So I got to ask you, did you ever hear of Dick the Bruiser?
Well, no, but I tell you this, I have some fond memories. My twin brother Brett and I, in Jasper, Alabama, on Saturday morning, we would watch wrestling every Saturday morning, and that is when you had Haystacks,
Calhoun,
Muldoon, and Tojo Yamamoto, which is always one of my favorites.
You guys are younger than me.
Yeah,
you weren't around for those.
Yeah,
Brett,
yeah,
you and your brother Brett, you were like me. You watched wrestling when I like to affectionately say back when it was real.
Wait. Brent and Brett? Really?
Brett,
so
one's 4 minutes older than
wasn't
another.
Like Maverick? Didn't he have a brother like it was Brent and Brett? There's another set.
Well,
4 minutes in between identical
and
twins.
the funny thing, Dave, being perceptive about that is that's what and Brett knows the story. But Brett and I were named after the Mavericks.
I knew it.
It was Brett. And now help me, Brett. It was Brett and Bart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Brett and Bart.
Mm-hmm. Now
Brett with one T though.
Yes.
But your
Brett,
brother has two T's like me.
Yeah, they came up with Brett and Brent out of that, which is interesting. And again, my favorite story of media days is Brent went in to register one day. I came in 5 minutes later. The woman at the table said, "No, look, I registered you 5 minutes ago. You've got what you need. Now get out of here." So I had to get my driver's license, and I had to pull somebody else in there
and vouch.
who knew us.
Yeah,
and could vouch for us.
Yeah. They can freak out media days. If y'all dressed identical, you could really have everybody. What, didn't I just see you?
Yeah. Now he would need to shave his beard, but yes, we could do that. So, and Dave, Brett's got probably a picture somewhere of both of us with him and without him. But yes, but back on the original premise was we enjoyed the Saturday morning wrestling like anybody else did.
Sure did. And now with college football starting on August 24th, the Gators and the U, they got about a week of practice already under their belts.
Yeah, they're already to it at this point. Absolutely. Now, Miami's still trying to figure out who the quarterback's going to be. Florida's trying to figure out who is going to be in the offensive line after losing 4 starters. But they're already started. Arizona and Hawaii have already started. Our friend Kevin Sumlin being over at Arizona. So that's right. And by the time we talk next week, everybody's going.
Everybody's going. You know, I can't imagine now. And I was having this conversation with my brother over the weekend. Used to August camp, fall camp for a lot of players, that was an ends to a means to get in shape. No more. I mean, they would. Oh, yeah. They could be injured. And you've had all summer. I wouldn't think of any player out of shape to start camp. Would you, Brent?
No. Listen,
you can't afford it.
If you do that, you're way down on the depth chart if that happens. And I'll tell you another thing that makes a difference too, guys. And y'all would, I don't know how much more this happens like it used to, but Brett and I were, by the way, we're talking about this, but Brother Brett and I a couple of nights ago. You remember when Pat Dye was at Auburn and they were on the quarter system?
Yes.
They acted. This is hard to believe for some of our listeners, but Auburn actually played. I don't mean guys just went through fall camp. They actually played 2 games before the quarter system started for school.
When I first went to college in 1971, Southern Illinois, we were on the quarter system. And I think our first week of school was the last week of August. So,
I thought
but those players were there earlier.
And we also remember a time that college players, it was a while ago now, but college players, they would have summer jobs back at home. They weren't at places from Memorial Weekend on. I can remember a player in Arkansas that had to miss the early part of freshman camp because he was pitching in the American Legion State Baseball Tournament, and it drove Lou Holtz crazy then, and these guys now wouldn't allow it.
No, they would not. But it is
depends on how good the guy was.
I can't imagine.
Let me tell you something. If a guy was a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, and he was pitching for the baseball team,
you better be real good.
This
guy wasn't that good.
He would get to do whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah, that was part of the Lou Holtz angst. He was thinking, you really need to be here playing left guard instead of pitching in baseball.
I got to throw this out because you had the story, I think, yesterday or the day before that Wisconsin and Alabama now have a home for 24 and 25.
And it will be at Camp Randall and Bryant Denny.
Yeah.
Not Lambeau, not
neutrals, right.
Yeah.
No, this is home and home, true home and home, and I love that.
It's what the market's demanding.
I love it. But it makes me wonder, are we going to get to where we're going to see the 9 SEC games plus a powerhouse like this, another Power 5, and then an AAC type
you know who's
game.
carrying the banner? The biggest voice in the sport. Brent, Nick Saban's carrying the banner.
Yeah. Well, he's doing that with this.
Yeah, and he's slowly getting some more of the SEC coaches to join him. Gus Malzahn has done the same. I still think we're a bit away from that happening, but you can see it coming. And the value, and look, we understand the value. The reality is these ADs guys have realized that we're going to put more rear ends in the seats. We've got to have better games. And guys, the fan bases and the people we've talked to in the SEC, like you probably have too, have told us that these fans are demanding it now. And then they're saying, look, guys, we're paying you thousands of dollars, not for tickets, but the rights to buy tickets, and then the tickets and all that goes along with it. And we're not driving 3 hours and spending $1,000 on a weekend to play the Sisters of the Poor. So what we're seeing now, I think we're going to see a whole lot more of in the next few years.
In every story we read, everything out there about you have to make the stadium experience at least with some of the amenities at home. You know, you can't ever fight home in your man cave and your 75-inch TV and or your outdoor kitchen and pool. They can't do that for 110,000 people or 80,000 people or 50,000 people even on a Saturday. But they have to try to get close to it. They have to try to get the closest proximity to that experience. And you're right about the cost of things. I think that should always be the first thing in all these stories. It's the cost. Brent, what the parking cost is purely outrageous to park. Never mind the jive of paying the personal seat license, and they call it everything but that in college.
Yeah, well, look, there's absolutely no question about that. That is a major deal now, and another major deal that you touched on with the amenities. Now, I thought that there were a couple of SEC ADs lately that have said, now, guys, we want to get a better Wi-Fi experience, but boy, that sure is expensive. Well, I tell you what, guys, the reality of that too is in this day and age, it's just the simple fact of you can't afford to be without it now. I mean, look, people are looking for an excuse not to come to games, and particularly with this millennial generation, if they know they're going to be without their phone service for 4 hours, they would be in a major panic. For the three of us, we'd probably be relieved. But you've either got to have Wi-Fi in these stadiums now, guys, or you're going to be out of luck.
Well, and we have to have it because you can't work without it, and we need it. But you're right about the consumer. And I tell you what I have found just in, I hadn't done a case study on it, but just in my interactions with friends and fans, once that fan, no matter how diehard he or she was, once they decide to opt out on the tickets and I'm kind of tapping out, I'm done, you don't get them back.
Yep.
When they make the decision at whatever age, 35, 45, 55, whatever age it is, I'm ready to stay at home, you can't get them back.
I think that is true. I agree with that. And the other aspect of non-conference games, one sort of not a bye game, but a game you're going to win 8 to 10 times, like a Power 5 or an American Athletic Conference team up against a really good Power 5 team. TV's going to love that. They're only going to keep up in the end because the numbers will just grow. I mean, no offense, but fans at home want to see good games.
Sure, they do. Yeah, absolutely. So and we're going to see more and more of this as it goes. And look, Nick Saban mentioned this in media days. He said we played the neutral site games because we had trouble getting people to play us. But now we've realized that we've got to do some home and homes because the fans are demanding better games. And he even said, that surprised me, but he even said, you're going to have people, when we schedule Western Carolina, we've got people they're reluctant to come out and watch that game, which means we've got to play better competition. So I think he speaks for a lot of coaches as far as what we're going to see in the future.
Now, a lot of coaches, I would say out of the SEC, out of 14 places, at least 9 are saying that's very easy for Nick Saban to say, bring on USC, bring on Miami, bring on home and home with Texas, Wisconsin, West Virginia, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. They can with that history and those rosters, but the rest of us can't bite off that big a bite of the apple. What do you say to that, Brent?
Well, I mean, you can't deny that. I mean, and that's the real problem that a lot of these teams have got is they can't schedule Michigan, USC, Ohio State.
Because it'll get them fired, listen to them.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And that's an issue too. But I think if you can show that you can at least schedule some, what would we say here, guys? Decent Division I games and Power 5 conference.
We know the smell test. The public knows it. They know the difference between, are you really scheduling that game? And, that should be interesting. Yeah, that'd be fun.
So that a lot of these guys are walking the fine line with that right now. So, and I get that. And I know it's easy for us to pile on them sometimes with that. But the scheduling is difficult, which goes back to Dave's original concept of if you've got 9 games in the conference, that's at least going to take care of a little bit of that situation by just doing that, in that you're going to be playing another team in the conference, which is going to be normally a better game.
I only think it strengthens your league, especially if you're a 14-team league where you might not see a team for 6 years. It makes you wonder, is it really a league?
And guess what, guys? If you lose, I promise the world's not coming to an end. It'll be okay.
True.
Yeah.
And if everybody ups the difficulty of their schedule, there will be more losses. But there's going to be enough W's to go around for you to get to a bowl. Yeah. Isn't that the biggest scary thing for all these guys?
That's it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, it is. And I tell you guys, another thing, I've been pretty impressed with the Athletic, and they had an article in there recently about the future and what's going to happen. And I still kind of can see this, that you're going to have, I'm not going to say the haves and the have not necessarily, and it still may come down to that, but there's going to be some kind of morphing together of a couple of these conferences just to be able to do that. And there's going to be more. We've got it now. We've got this now for basketball, particularly with the SEC and like the Big 12, and we're seeing more of that the thought process is going to be, and this is interesting, that in the coming years we're going to see more of these conferences that make a deal similar to what we're seeing in basketball and football, in doing more of that in order to get better games and open up some other possibilities. So as we look to the future, whether it's out of desperation or whatever it is, I think better games are coming just because they're going to have to do it.
When you say leagues morphing together, I'm curious about this. We know, for instance, now it's official. UConn's going to leave the AAC after this year. They're going to pay $17 million, even though they're in big money, but in big debt. But they now have until 2026 to pay the $17 million. So they got more time, and the American gets more money. But are you talking about a league like the AAC morphing in with another league, or what do you mean by that?
What I have seen so far is, and again, there's nothing concrete with this, but what I've seen so far has been examples to where the writer will take the Pac-12, and that they may morph with the or combine, whatever adjective you want to use, with the Big 12 in order for that you've got better competition, that these conferences can stay viable with each other. I don't know if it's necessarily that they're going to form a 20-team league, but there's going to be some kind of collaboration with the leagues in the next 5 and 10 years to where some of these conferences that are really struggling, it doesn't only save them, but it provides better competition. Now, again, I enjoy looking at visionary, futuristic stuff like that, Dave and Brett.
That's what we do.
And how it comes to fruition, we don't really know, but the reality is we're going to see some differences in these conferences over the next few years.
Bring it on.
Bring it on, my friend. Bring it on. We're almost here. Yep. Brent, as always, we appreciate it. Say hello to your twin brother for me.
He's a dandy. He's a dandy-roo. And, Brent, you take care
of yourself. And it's all after Maverick. I love your parents.
Their dad, noted attorney in Jasper, Alabama.
Aha. So if I get caught speeding on my way to my golf trip here in a little bit, will he help me?
Yeah, well, let me say this. Dad's in heaven right now. If he was here, I would say yes.
He would have. Okay. Thank you, Brother Brent.
Thank you, Brent.
Oh, my pleasure, guys.
Thank you.
That is Brent Beard in Jacksonville. This hour of the show, it's brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Genesis, too. Well, that's right. They can sell both cars. Not all of the Hyundai dealerships have that honor, but they do at Homer Skelton. And, in fact, they are being highlighted as a bigger Genesis dealer than they've been before. They're actually going to increase the size of the showroom here in the next year or two, separate entrances, and Genesis, you haven't seen like the G70. This car will absolutely turn your head. It'll spin it around. It's so good. It's a James Bond kind of car. It's amazing. And they're having more and more product come in from Genesis. There will be an SUV. There's going to be a bigger sedan. Everything. You're going to love it, and you're going to get the same assurance you get with the Hyundais, like my Santa Fe. 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on every new car on the showroom floor and in the lot. You can't help but be impressed. 11 years in a row, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. Go see what I'm talking about. You'll see and understand that this is the way car business should be done. If you take Lamar into Mississippi, turn left at the very first exit, Craft Road, you'll see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai. We take a break. Back in just a minute. This is we're halfway through the Tuesday edition of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find real sports talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
Hey everybody, the All-Star Chevy Challenge is here. And I'm telling you, if it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is the place to go, people. Take your best written deal from any Mid-South Chevy dealer to our friends at All-Star Chevrolet, and they will beat it. Or they're going to give you a free tank of gas for the win. So now that I got your attention, yes, July is All-Star Challenge month, when you get to let All-Star Chevy beat that deal on any new Chevy or even pre-owned vehicle you want. Just take the official written deal from any other Chevy dealer, not that one your friend wrote down at the bar, and take it to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. It's that simple. Not only that, they have the best testing ground of any other Chevy dealership, and when you head to All-Star Chevy, you know you got the best deal. So find new roads to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch and take the All-Star Challenge. Not in South Haven, it's gotta be Olive Branch. Or go to allstarautogroup.com right now and be amazed by all the hot new Chevys and pre-owned vehicles they have in stock. Don't miss the All-Star Chevy Challenge. You will thank me later.
Sundays and Mondays are special at the Butcher Shop, celebrating over 35 years of serving the Mid-South by giving a big thank you to you, their loyal customers. You can come in, relax, watch your favorite games, and enjoy hand-cut steaks along with a premium bar. Sunday and Monday nights from 5 until 8:30, you can get select entrees for $25. That includes a salad, baked potato, and bread, and you don't have to pick one, you get all 3. Some of those entrees are 10-ounce New York strip steak, slow-roasted prime rib, Atlantic salmon with dill sauce, marinated grilled chicken breast, grilled boneless pork chops, and crab-stuffed shrimp. Plus, all appetizers and desserts are 20% off. Don't forget, Hamburger Friday every Friday from 11 to 2. It's the best. The Butcher Shop, always a Memphis tradition. Call 901-757-4244, 901-757-4244 for more information, or just stop in at 107 South Germantown Parkway in Cordova.
AC trouble? Make your first call your last call. Call Air Doctors of Memphis, 901-598-HVAC. Owner Matt Davis is a third-generation full-service air conditioning specialist. Air Doctors of Memphis services all major brands, and labor and parts are guaranteed 100%. Their yearly AC checkup is only $60, and 24-hour emergency service is billed at normal rates. Your comfort is their highest priority. Contact airdoctorsofmemphis.com or call 901-598-HVAC. First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking good and feeling good? You've been to Roosters Men's Grooming, the all-American classic barbershop. Whether boy or man, Sportster or professional, when service matters, Roosters is the choice for all gentlemen. Roosters Men's Grooming offers a full-service shave, precision haircuts, and more, all with top-of-the-line products and a truly professional atmosphere. They even remember your name and offer you a beer. When looking good and feeling good matters, relax and unwind at Roosters Men's Grooming, Paragon Place, 6300 Poplar.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back in. This portion of the show brought to you by Memphis Public Golf. Better play every day at 8 fantastic golf courses. They really try to make this an amenity for all of Memphis, and they're really good about helping youth golf. You know, if you're 17 or under, you got to walk, but every golf course with the exception of Galloway is free. You heard me. If you're 17 and under and you love golf and you got mom and dad who'll be happy to take you there or figure out a way to get there, golf is free. Even at Galloway, by the way, on Saturdays, it's family day. If you come with a family member and you're a young man, you get to, or young girl, you get to play for free. And there's free golf clinics almost every day of the week for those under 17, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the links at Whitehaven, Thursday, the links at Pine Hill. So you're talking Monday through Thursday. There's a way for you to have a free golf clinic through Memphis Public Golf. Women, by the way, every Wednesday at 3:30, it's all women at the links at Overton. There's a clinic, and there's a real cheap fee for you to play 9 holes with a cart. And I will tell you, you get a couple of beverages in that deal, too. And by the way, I'm not making this up. When I played my golf marathon, Overton Park was in the best condition I've seen it since I got here. You know, it's the second oldest golf course in the city of Memphis behind only Memphis Country Club. This is amazing.
I didn't know
how
that.
good, yeah. Memphis Public Golf, better play every day. We're gonna talk some schedules as we've discussed this already, but I do want to say I had a meeting, you know, getting in the spirit of things. I had a meeting today, University of Memphis and the broadcast team about a bunch of stuff, and we had it in the new facility. And there's a lot of activity behind where the new facility is because they've already started doing
more new stuff.
The indoor facility. Dr. Rudd wasn't messing around. He said as soon as the offices and the new expanded eating area and everything else that's part of the South office complex, whenever that was done, they were going right to the new indoor facility, which was the old field #1 outdoor. They were going to start. Well, they have started. And this place, by the way, is really, really nice. All state-of-the-art equipment and TVs and everything else.
And it matters. It matters for every sport. It's not just football and men's basketball. Recently, I saw an article, and it's an SEC school. Can you guess the school that spends more on feeding their athletes? Every sport, they spend more. It's in the SEC. Can you guess it?
The school that spends more on food for their athletes?
And it's basically you can come and eat anytime you want and as much as you want and that's the way it should be for them.
Is it like, do they have like the Jason's ice cream?
Anything.
Anything.
Now, sometimes they have players on some restricted diets.
Sure. Yeah.
Both to gain and to lose. You know the
Right.
drill. But SEC, can you guess?
I would say Alabama.
It's Arkansas.
Really?
They spend more on feeding their athletes than anyone, and it should
Maybe
be that
that's
way
why
for
they
them.
appeared on the football field to be a little slower last year.
Well, and they had the old rope-a-dope.
I'm kidding. Don't text me or anything else with a
Razorback
complaint.
hater from way back.
Oh, I know.
From
yeah.
way back.
You love just putting
You and Coach
fuel
Ball.
on the fire,
You're
don't
one
you?
of the few people that
Oh,
really
please,
went at
come
it.
on.
That was great, wasn't it? You were right in the middle of all that big scandal. They don't have the broadcast position there anymore.
They don't? They moved it?
Rhodes not there, and the whole table at Arkansas has changed. They've kicked most of the media up into a corner.
So if you're doing a
broadcast is on the table on the other side by your bench.
By
It's
your
not-
bench.
It's not on that side.
more and
across
more, they are going by your bench. And can I tell you the bad thing about if you're a basketball
your
announcer,
coach stands in front of you
your
all night.
coach stands in front.
And you
do
wouldn't-
you,
and
do
you
you
wouldn't
know
dare watch that
who,
coach leans over a
Do you
little.
know who may be the tallest coach in
Coach Hardaway.
in college basketball? Man,
Coach Hardaway. He played. He was a good player.
Was he?
Yeah. Gold medalist.
Yeah, he was. He was Little Penny. All right. So, talking about the way you and I would like to see.
If
Now, I'm
if
not
we could
talking
be
just SEC. I'd like to see the American do the same thing. I would be happy to.
Dave, I'm not as stringent on the American on no FCS or any non-Power 5 because look, they're already out there fighting a tough fight. I'm not going to do that to them. But for SEC, the Big Ten's already there. The Pac-12's
Sure.
already there. Notre Dame.
Big 12 only plays 9 games.
But the other two I mentioned will not play FCS. Pac-12, Big Ten
okay.
will not play FCS.
Well,
you
know what?
Just
I could buy
Notre Dame never.
I could buy your position. If you're a group of 5 at this point and you're not getting
I'm talking
television
just SEC.
money,
I'm just being tough on my group.
I hear you.
It's disgraceful to do that to your
if
season ticket
if the
holders.
American teams played 9 conference games, played at least 1 Power 5 team, okay, that's 10.
Mm-hmm.
If you played a Sun Belt,
somebody in FBS.
You could either play 2 Power 5s or you could play a CUSA or Sun Belt or something like that. A group of 5.
Somebody FBS.
Okay, and then you play 1 FCS.
I'm fine by that. I'm fine by that, but not for SEC. SEC
or all P5.
I'm just concerned about the SEC. The rest of them can do it.
No. So we should be helping out all of college football, not just the SEC.
Well, some of the Big 12 schedules can get a little. You can get a lot of Lamar.
Yeah, but they're at least playing 9 conference games.
They are. That is a very fair comeback. But there's a lot of Stephen F. Austin in there for the Big 12.
I could see,
but I want
Memphis doing away with the Southern game.
I want 9 SEC. I want my 10th game against the other division that doesn't count as a conference game.
Let's go school by school here, and
One Power
we'll
5.
solve the SEC's problem.
You give me.
We start with Alabama. Would you make them play UAB?
Yes, I would, and Troy.
Oh.
And Troy.
Yeah, I don't think Bear Bryant's son would like that.
Well, he can get over it.
And Troy. Sanford, though, no.
No, because they're FCS.
FCS.
But play somebody FBS.
Now, we're talking 9 conference games, right?
Maybe not every year, and also, for them, somebody else in the neighborhood. Like this year, they're playing Southern Miss.
Yes.
Middle, Memphis.
Would love to.
Somebody like that.
That'd be great. That would be great. Arkansas, you're going to have them play Arkansas State?
Absolutely. I think it should be the Labor Day weekend opening game every year.
But it would not be like, let's give this example, Southwest Missouri State.
It's just Missouri State.
It's Missouri State now, I'm sorry. That's FCS.
It is. No. Those
but
days.
That's close by.
Those days should be over. But for Arkansas, somebody, a Tulsa, And they have a pretty proud tradition of playing Tulsa.
Well, they used
historically
to play Tulsa a lot. So Portland State would be out because
Portland State.
That's the FCS.
For lunch tomorrow, name the nickname Portland State. Opening day for the Razorbacks.
Hold on.
Don't think of Portland. Don't say Pilots. Don't say Pilots, Dave. Don't do it. Dave, don't do it. Don't say Pilots, please. That's University of Portland. This is Portland State.
I'm not. I hate to say this, but you know where the USFL Portland team played? Where Portland State played.
Okay. Well, I'm ready for lunch tomorrow.
Okay.
Give me the nickname.
Gosh. It's pretty obscure, I guess, because you don't just give away lunch. That wouldn't be coming from you. It's not the Beavers.
No, it's not the Beavers. They share it with an NFL team.
Can I take a guess? I was thinking Vikings.
It is Vikings. Very good.
There you go. You're taking us to lunch. Great job, Drew.
You didn't do anything.
I was going to say it, but he beat me to
all
it.
You said was get him, Drew.
No.
That's all you did.
No. That was all rigged. I told him earlier.
You can't throw our bits and stuff at us. That's not allowed, Dave. You know better than that. Unfair. That violated something, didn't it?
We'll have to get with the rules and rules committee.
In our standards and practices protocol, and I'll get a text who's paid for lunch tomorrow.
That's called turning the table, baby.
You can't do that.
Auburn, who we
in Auburn, UAB, Troy, Southern, Memphis, Arkansas State, Tulane.
Tulane should be in that. You're right.
Look, this isn't that hard. Get out a map.
All right, so
Florida
should be playing USF, UCF, FIU, FAU.
And again, I'm not saying for every game. All right, let's go over this again. 9 SEC games.
Right.
So you have 3 left.
1 Power 5.
1 Power 5.
10 games.
The in my world against the other division, the SEC that you don't see regularly, that won't count as an SEC game.
Wow. So that's really
11.
10 conference games. Even though only 9 are counting, that's another conference game.
That's true. Only 9 count, but it's really 10. So that's 11 of them, and then
a group of 5.
Somebody in this neighborhood. I mentioned that. And then somebody in this neighborhood.
Yeah, but it's somebody in this neighborhood is going to be a G5.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be a G5?
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
You're saying a G5, but geography
FBS,
is taking it,
not FCS.
Right.
No more 1AA.
Look, can I tell you something? There are 5 Power 5s. And there are 5 G5s. There are 10 that make up Division 1.
There are plenty of people. You got 100. Well, you don't have 129 because conference. You got about 115 teams that you can pick from, and you got some in your backyard. If you're Florida, you got FIU, FAU, the
UCF,
the
USF,
the SFs, the CFs. You got plenty to pick from.
I'm trying to think of nothing around Jacksonville. Is there?
Well, you got but then you have Georgia State. In Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, that's Georgia. Georgia should be playing Georgia State, right?
Potentially, yes. But Georgia also in that area could be playing, I think, moving into FBS status at some point will be Coastal Carolina. They're already there. They're in the Sun Belt. They're already there in the neighborhood that type.
Yeah, that's okay.
This isn't that difficult.
Kentucky?
WKU?
Middle, Western, for sure. Yeah.
They should be playing with Cincinnati more often. That's right down the road.
Cincinnati, somebody from the MAC.
Eastern Michigan, they're playing them this year.
In the neighborhood. Yeah.
Well, first of all, they're playing 2 MAC schools. They're playing Toledo and Eastern Michigan right off the bat.
So far in all this, I don't think any of this is that difficult. Get a map out. And I don't know that it causes to take a crowd anywhere from 50,000 to 80,000, but I know what it doesn't do. It doesn't take a crowd of 50,000 down to 35, and some of these FCSers do. It does.
LSU, would you put Memphis in the neighborhood?
Sure. Sure. Oxford is.
So Louisiana Lafayette, Louisiana Monroe, Tulane.
Texas
Definitely
State.
Tulane.
Somebody, Arkansas State, somebody from the Sun Belt. Again, this is not that difficult.
All right, Ole Miss, Southern Miss,
Memphis, Tulane, UAB, Troy, Arkansas State, Middle. Just it's not hard.
State, same schools you just mentioned.
Exactly.
Missouri.
a little more difficult in the neighborhood.
I'd like to see him play Illinois more often. That should be a good rivalry.
Works in basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a rivalry.
It's that classic.
They should play Memphis again.
Tulsa's not far.
Tulsa.
Iowa State is not far.
No,
for Mizzou.
Kansas.
Here's the
they
obvious
can easily
one.
play
There's
Kansas.
the obvious one. That rivalry with Kansas.
Oh yeah. That one they'll win every time.
That I don't think we realize how heated and hated that rivalry that it is.
Oh, yeah. South Carolina.
Again, I mentioned
Coastal Carolina.
I mentioned Coastal.
That's new.
Georgia State. Charlotte, I think, is going to
Charlotte is.
FBS.
Yeah. Charlotte is in CUSA.
East Carolina.
Yeah. East Carolina, absolutely. Yeah. Tennessee. Same schools that we just mentioned. Middle Tennessee,
ones.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Which they never play. UT Chattanooga would not fit that bill.
No.
A&M.
Take your pick.
It could be a million.
UTEP, Houston, SMU.
Absolutely. And then Vandy, the same schools that Tennessee and Ole Miss play.
And I wanted to do this to highlight, I don't think it's hard, and before the market turns you completely off, get ahead of it, ADs. Get ahead of it, planners and staffers.
I think you're right. We're solving all the. I would like to see. I would love to see all the Power Five and the American go to 9 conference games.
And states playing Southern Miss this
year. But
year.
do you think college football's coaches would go along with this?
They're not for playing anybody.
I know.
They want the whole schedule to be something hyphenated.
I remember a discussion a long time ago with Justin Fuente, who basically was willing to play one tough non-conference game a year. That was all. He wanted 3 for sure W's so that he could win 3 games in conference and still go to a bowl.
But that's when he was building a program that had been on tough times.
That was after he had already established.
Okay, but he didn't want to go back to those tough times.
He did not want to go back to those tough times.
And the highlighted weekend, the one that really causes the criticism in the SEC world, we know it's the weekend before the big rivalry weekend. And here it is this year, Bama against Western Carolina. We do have Arkansas and LSU, but we have Auburn and Samford. Florida has an open date. Georgia plays A&M. Kentucky and Tennessee Martin. Mississippi State and Abilene Christian. Vanderbilt and East Tennessee State.
I would say this, though. There is, if I look down here, and you probably really checked it out.
And East Tennessee State just started playing football like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
There's probably each week one great game, whether it's a non-conference game or a conference game, in this SEC schedule.
Yeah.
And that satisfies CBS and all the partners.
Well, you have to do that. But, CBS' first Saturday game will not be until Saturday, September 14th. They won't have a game the first 2 weeks.
Who's got Auburn, Oregon? Is that ESPN? That's a game day, isn't it?
Auburn, Oregon's ABC on Saturday night.
Okay.
And it will feature game day, and they'll have Herb Street there. And they're trying to save money on jet fuel, Dave. Flying him all over the country. Times are tough, Dave.
LSU, Texas is week 2.
Week 2, that's your probably the glamour game. And then into week 3, and the CBS package starts that week. With Alabama and South Carolina.
Well, Florida, Kentucky is a decent game.
Real good. That'll be in the Saturday night window, 6 o'clock. And then the next week, it'll be the doubleheader, and it'll feature
Florida, Tennessee, and Notre Dame, Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Florida, Tennessee in the afternoon, and Georgia and Notre Dame at night.
South Carolina, Missouri that day too. That's
a good one.
Yeah,
but no TV time set for that weekend yet, except for Saturday night, Georgia, Notre Dame. But
you
got an idea.
Then you're into big time. You get your conference schedule. I know that next week is a big game because you got Alabama and Ole Miss that week.
Credit to Vandy. I did mention them playing East Tennessee, but credit to Vandy playing Purdue non-conference, playing Northern Illinois non-conference. They can lose both of those.
Well, that's because they're Vandy. I'm not saying Northern Illinois is a great team. I know a couple of years ago.
Pretty good teams year in, year out.
Yeah, they're okay. I'm not going to go tell you, that's a powerhouse every year.
Pretty good team year in and year out.
Oh, they're playing UNLV. They got Purdue, UNLV, Northern Illinois. Who's the fourth?
East Tennessee State.
East Tennessee. So there's at least that's in the neighborhood.
That is the soft landing for that kind of game.
But I like that. At least
if you're doing
it's in
but don't do it.
The neighborhood. We got to take a break. Speaking of the neighborhood, Soulfish Cafe is in just about every neighborhood. Oh, are they good? Well, what other restaurant have you ever heard of that won 3 different categories in Memphis Most? Best catfish? Well, that's a no-brainer. Then best seafood and best soul food. Whew, wow, that's a mouthful right there. And such cool atmospheres in every one of their places is a little bit different. They're unique and so good looking. The original in Cooper Young, right there on Cooper, that place has been doubled in size, and the way they made it look, fantastic. The one in my neighborhood in East Memphis, on Poplar, just east of Perkins, in the old Wolf Camera location, spectacular. Hard to get into. It's always so crowded, but the food is so good. Then there's the second one that really opened up in Collierville, or rather Germantown on the Collierville border. That is in the shops of Forest Hill, Irene. That place has been going gangbusters for years. The one in Wolf Chase about to open. There's one going to open in Oxford. There's one that's been open for a couple of years in Little Rock. It's an empire because of its consistency and such good food. And by the way, plenty of variety. I know this is amazing. One of the best hamburgers in town you can get at Soulfish Cafe. Go find out for yourself. They're everywhere. You will love Soulfish Cafe. Back in a minute, we put a wrap on hour number 2, and this is the Tuesday edition of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
You have to be up in 5 hours. 2 hours. 6 minutes, and you haven't slept a wink. ZzzQuil Pure Z's is a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake with no next-day grogginess. So tonight, try new ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil.
Family Leisure's pool clearance sale is July 8th through the 21st. Above ground pools starting at $11.99. 24-foot pools starting at $17.99. And you can get free upgrades on select pools that include pool filters, liners, and winter covers. Special 12-month financing is available. Plus, half off on toys, floats, and pool games. Summer's just started. There's plenty of time to swim, so make a splash at the Family Leisure Pool Clearance Sale. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
Introducing Top Tracer Range, the new ball tracking and gaming system at Golf and Games Family Park. Top Tracer gathers data such as distance, carry, ball speed, and more. Compete against friends in a points game, long drive, and virtual golf at courses such as Pebble Beach and St. Andrews. Golf and Games Family Park is a great setting for group and company outings, golf lessons, or individual practice. Experience fun, friends, family, and introducing Top Tracer Range, the new ball tracking and gaming system at Golf and Games Family Park, 5484 Summer Avenue.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Ocean and Brad Norsworthy.
My world was strapped against my back. I held my hands, never knew how.
Cubs cards making national news here.
Who's got the edge?
Who's got the edge?
They're debating it. I think the Cubs have a better lineup.
Yeah, but the Cubs are bad.
I think they have a core 3.5, 3 3/4.
I think it's the Cardinals have the edge in St. Louis. Cubs have the edge in Wrigley.
Well, so far that is held this year. Cubs have won all 6 on the north side. The Cardinals won the 3 played in St. Louis. If it holds, that's a 3-game lead for the Cardinals.
It's not going to hold.
Storming in August. I don't think it's going to hold.
Not going to hold.
Either. The edge in pitching tonight, I don't think there's a I don't think there's one.
I don't think there is either.
But I think there's
they
an
are
edge in
both
lineup. I think there's an edge
very
in managing.
average. You think the edge in managing goes to?
A guy's won a World Series.
I would say so. I don't know why Joe Madden is so
Why'd you make me
darn
get all high pitched?
disrespected.
It was obvious, wasn't it?
Never.
No need to yell.
Nothing is
No
obvious.
need, you know, he always wins the argument. There's no need for you to yell.
So
you know that guy always wins the argument, don't they? Why are you raising your voice?
My
Dave?
wife does that to me all the time.
The first person
you know
that can
why?
play that.
No, seriously. Here's the deal.
Because you can't hear and you talk loud and you don't mean to be loud.
I do, and I'm going, no. That's just my passion. I'm not yelling.
No, and you can't hear. Nor can I.
You know, we were just having this discussion. I know at some point I am going to need hearing aids. I know it, but I don't need it yet. I'm not that far gone. But I will say this.
I'm getting close.
You ask my engineer, Danny O'Brien, how loud I have those headsets.
Dave.
Like, it's loud.
Sometimes when I'm not here, I can catch your ears through the mic.
Say that again.
You have your ear.
When I'm not here, if I'm not here, how
He
hear
can-
my
he-
ear?
When I'm in the car, I can hear.
If you turn your head, your
Just
ear
right.
to the mic,
Yeah.
you can hear it. Which it happens sometimes.
It does.
Wow.
It happens. I do it too. Get too close and you got too loud. I used to could hear anything. I never been able to see. Been blind. I'm not very good. Sight
That I
most
still
of
am
my life.
okay with.
Well, you got glasses for a reason.
Well, that's for reading.
Thank you, Drew.
You name a person over 50 that, unless they've had surgery,
That's right.
that can read
And it
small
happens.
print.
It happens.
It's called age.
It does.
It's called OLD.
And you loved the sunglasses last week. I've never had a pair of sunglasses that I can get to work with my prescription. I haven't worn sunglasses since I was 25.
Come on now.
I haven't. You've never seen me in a pair. Not one time ever.
Would you like to try to get some? Because they now have.
If I can get my prescription.
They now
right.
have prescription sunglasses. My wife gets them. It costs you a little bit of money.
Well,
I know that's
I
know
say,
that's
man,
hard.
times are tough.
I know that.
Why don't you just get the clip-on ones that you can
No.
flip up and down?
Serious?
Come on.
Are you serious?
Like the old school baseball players did like in the 80s.
Drew, you'd be the first one to laugh at me if I was.
I would
flipping
not.
around.
I would.
Yes,
I would wear a pair. I'd rock
You'd
one.
laugh behind my back at me.
No, we would never laugh at you.
No, never, Brett.
So that's the whole thing. You're vain about your look, so you're going to suffer and make your eyes get worse from
I don't
the glare.
suffer. I got a visor in my car. I put it down. I don't suffer.
Please.
I see. Never had a wreck in my life.
I want you to
Knock
go.
on something.
I want you to go
Especially as much as I
to
drive.
an eye doctor. I want you to get the latest in
My
prescription
nephew's married to an
sunglasses.
optometrist.
You have got to talk to her. This is crazy. Is this? Wait a second.
Tom's wife's an optometrist.
Tom's wife in Memphis. You have no excuse.
I know. I really
That
don't.
is absolutely pitiful.
They live over by
That's
you.
pitiful.
It is pitiful. Well, I can be. You know how tight.
This is no. There's two things going here. One, tight. Two, change. Inflexible. Inflexible.
I can't argue with either, Dave. All right, you tell me. We got to rattle through this quickly. Here are the lineups tonight. Second, we'll go around the infield. Third base for the Cubs, Chris
Come on.
Bryant.
That's a winner.
Yeah, we don't even need to, for comparison's sake. Poor Tommy Edman. That's a bad matchup. Shortstop for the
Baez,
Cubs.
winner, Chicago.
Get Paul DeYoung, the Cardinal All-Star. Are you kidding me? That's proof everybody has to have a rep. So 2-zip Cubs.
2-zip.
We there?
Yep.
Second base, Garcia for the Cubs against Wong for the Cardinals.
That's a mix. Push. Yeah, absolutely.
Push, light edge, Garcia.
I'll
go with push.
I'll go with total push.
Rizzo, Goldschmidt. Push.
If I were leaning, I'd go to Rizzo. Look at the numbers this year.
Well, this year, not as much as years past, but for this year, pretty good against average and RBI.
Goldsmith is 254, and what's Riz? He's 290, 289, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I'd go push.
I'd go Riz.
He's got a ring. Goldschmidt
let's go.
Drew,
Drew, can you be?
Drew decide.
Because he's always on your side.
No,
Have you ever?
no.
No, yes,
I am not.
This dude has never been.
I'm non-biased. I am a non-biased source. Okay.
Just gave me a shot too about flipping sunglasses.
I think they'd look cool on you. I'm just saying. But I'd go with Rizzo.
There we go.
Fine. So
that's 3.
That's clean sweep around the infield, isn't it?
No, we had a push at second.
Catcher.
Oh, come on, Contreras and Yachty.
Tonight, Caratini against Matt Wieters.
Well,
whoa. No need to talk bad about Matt Wieters.
Who's had a good year.
He was close to an all-star in Baltimore.
But Caratini's had some big moments for the Cubs.
Push.
I'd say push. Now, honestly, if Contreras and Yachty go, those are both really good, but Yachty gets the lean. Yeah, although Contreras is a better defensive catcher.
There's no date yet for Yachty's return. People are getting worried. Left field, Schwarber against left field against who?
Who's playing left field tonight for the Cards?
Tyler O'Neill. Oh, man. Center field, Dexter Fowler, the old Cub.
Yep.
Against Ian Happ.
I'd probably give Fowler the edge there. The Cardinals get an edge, but it's close.
Right field, Jose Martinez against
Jason Hayward. I got to go Hayward. And then Darvish and Wainwright are a push.
3 and 4 for Darvish, 4.54 ERA, but I know it doesn't matter. 7-7 for Wainwright, 4.63 ERA. I know it doesn't matter. Nothing matters in baseball.
The ERA matters. The wins don't. And they're both very mediocre. That's the truth.
They mattered when Sandy Koufax won them. They mattered
because that was a different era. That was when guys
were pitchers.
Starters gave you 7, 8, or 9 innings.
Back when wrestling was
how
real.
many complete games are there this year in the major leagues?
That's a great question.
Drew, when you get a chance, Google,
I can
find out how many complete games in the majors this year. Not many, that is for sure.
Complete games. Bieber with 2, tied with about 3 others. Eflin, Giolito, Leak, and Mike Minor. 2.
That is pitiful. The game has changed. The game has totally changed. We got to take a timeout. I'll tell you what's not changed. The Hall of Fame game in Canton is usually right.
Who will be the quarterback
this weekend?
Starting Thursday night.
Will we have ever heard of him? Bo Marchand's got the answers when we return in just a minute. Hour number 3 of this, the Tuesday edition of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Are you looking for a high-quality, family-oriented country club experience? Then look no further than Windike Country Club. As a member, you have access to the men's and ladies and junior golf programs, the best par 3 in the Southeast, and 2 18-hole golf courses that you're going to absolutely love. Windike is also a great place for weddings and wedding receptions. Keep it in mind. For more details on how to become a member, call them today at 754-1888 or email membership@windike.com.
It's all about the fun, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Book a Caribbean vacation for your mouth at Curry and Jerk. So you are Arturo, and you came together with Ricardo to create Curry and Jerk for what?
To bring people together, to share our culture and letting people smile by eating the food that we're used to. We wanted to bring the combination of the West Indies culture to share right here in America with others.
And you don't have to go all the way to the Caribbean to have a taste of the Caribbean. You can have it right here in downtown Memphis.
That is absolutely correct.
Chef Ricardo, tell me a little bit about Sunday brunch.
Yeah, our Sunday brunch is like something different that you will get. It's like a mixture of the Caribbean mixed with the basic type of brunch people used to here in Memphis, but we just turn it up a notch with our Caribbean spices and flavor, and it is such a big difference.
At Curry and Jerk, located in the heart of downtown Memphis at 126 Monroe. Lunch daily from 11 to 2, dinner Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 10, Friday and Saturday 4 to 11.
Hi, this is Mark Tobin. I got a question for you. Is there anywhere you'd rather be than outdoors today? Well, if that's true for you, then be sure to join me and our guests every Saturday at 6 a.m. for the Outdoors Today radio show. We're going to bring you hunters and fishermen. We're going to give you tips and techniques that'll help you get more from the outdoors today. Join our electronic campfire every Saturday at 6 a.m.
Outdoors Today, Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Come on, Muhammad, we hit fame. We beat with the deal, we get insane.
Thursday night starts the 100th year of the National Football League. Big celebration this year. And this week at Canton at the Hall of Fame, we visit with Bo Marchant from collegetopro.com about all things NFL after I tell you about the title sponsor of this hour. And it's our friends at DeSoto Auto Sales. They specialize in late model cars with low mileage, high standards in the car industry at DeSoto Auto Sales. All the cars are test driven, checked out head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make, every model. And if they don't have it on the lot, they'll go out and they'll find it for you. No shortcuts taken at DeSoto Auto Sales. And you're treated like family. When you walk in, you're treated like family by kind, courteous employees with a laid-back, down-home environment. No high-pressure sales, but they do care about your time and want you to have the ultimate car experience. And they know how much time matters in this very busy world that we're living in. Go online, check out the referrals at DeSotoAutoSales.com. You walk in, test drive your car, credit approved, paperwork finished, and you're gone in about 45 minutes. It's that simple. Again, online at DeSotoAutoSales.com, 5704 Goodman Road, down in DeSoto County, 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales for that town and country experience in DeSoto County. I think we would be remiss if right here we didn't send out our best wishes and kindest thoughts to the lives lost this morning in DeSoto County and South Haven during the shooting at Walmart, and hope for everybody to have some peace and some calm with that.
Amen to that.
Again, we have it. Again. And it gets closer every day. But very sorry for the lives lost this morning down in DeSoto County. But looking forward to now we're 2 days out from talking real football. And I know you're going to watch every play Thursday night, aren't you?
Here's the deal. And we bring in Bo Marchant.
We do. Hey, Bo.
Bo, who is from collegetopro.com. We haven't got the game yet, though. That's why when ESPN.com is leading with that Cliff Kingsbury is miffed at the Madden video game because he doesn't look good. He looks like a zombie, and some people think he looks like Ryan Gosling.
He wants to look better.
I mean, come on. Let's get the games going, Bo.
Yeah, it's that quiet time. That's why, you just want the games to start so there's some real news to talk about. I don't think back in the heyday, none of these legendary coaches that we think about would ever be commenting on how they would have looked on an Atari or in a television. But that's our day and age right now.
And we had a couple of those headlines. Look, Bo, I love fantasy football. I was in a great league forever, a league that started in my hometown of Forest City in 1984. I got in 85, stayed in until 2007 or so. Had an absolute blast. They're getting ready to begin their 36th year. It's a fun league, a lot of fun guys in it, had a blast through the years. I never thought I would see a player like Le'Veon Bell issue an apology to fantasy owners for keeper leagues last year, and he didn't play.
Yeah, I thought that was ironic. I thought it was a fun move, though. He just kind of letting him know that he relates to the fans and how most fans actually think nowadays is, it's kind of ruined the fabric of maybe the loyalty to certain teams when you're turning on the TV and you need a touchdown from Julio Jones and you don't need Todd Gurley to score a touchdown, but you're rooting for the Chiefs because they're your favorite team. So you kind of get into a lot of different avenues. But when Bell came out and said that, I thought it was jovial and fun where, you know what, I know you guys love fantasy football. I can have the production where I could be the number one back in the league in terms of fantasy value. And, he wants to make amends on, how last season went. Because a lot of people still thought he would come back. It does.
Fantasy football
for the
matters.
longest time. It does. And for the longest time, they tried to shut it down.
In fantasy football, it was not a direct link, but it was more than indirect. I don't know if it was primary, but it was in there in helping to get the lockout solved and the replacement players off the field in '87 because people were going crazy. I want my real football.
Serious question. We all know it's a juggernaut, the NFL and television ratings and how much money they make from it. How much in the last 7 to 10 years, say 10 years, did the growth of popularity of this game, how much of it is contributed by fantasy? We know gambling's huge, but by fantasy football.
Bo?
I think the number, I couldn't put a number high enough, I think, for the help of its growth.
It's big. It's unarguable.
When you have, my mom, I don't think she is, but when my mother and your mother and this guy's mother all have their own fantasy league, and they're paying attention to how many receptions DeAndre Hopkins had on a Sunday afternoon, that I think speaks volumes in terms of, and it's universal between female and male. It's just not a male-oriented thing now. There's leagues with both females and males, and I think, in the heyday, Brett, when you said you guys started back in '84, I would think there was no women and nobody cared on the female side of things.
It was. It was.
Oh, well, then, there you go. You had one. But,
we had a strong female-only team of some really good friends of mine. Their mother was on the team with some girlfriend, lady friends of hers, and they were primary there from the beginning. Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
And they were great. And they would always decorate their table at draft night. It was great.
Yeah. And then I think that just speaks, everyone feels involved. And, and Dave, I think, and you guys can answer, I think it's been hand in hand more than anything else that's contributed. You probably say TV and then fantasy football were probably the two biggest things, because without one of those, these, it wouldn't have had the popularity.
And one more thing, gambling.
That's the biggest.
Let's be honest. At the bottom line of fantasy football, that is a form of it, and there's not one thing wrong with it. If you don't want to, don't. And I don't think anybody is putting the mortgage up to put in for their fantasy football team. If you are, you probably need to take a step or two back.
That's for sure.
Well, and that goes with anything. Just like in our area now. You can throw a rock and bet on something now, and if you don't want to, or you're having a problem with it, or you're taking from real budget dollars, don't. If you're having fun with it, have fun.
Yeah, in moderation. You can do everything with it. No matter what you do it in moderation. And if you do that, you should be pretty even keel on being successful and healthy and not getting yourself into any trouble.
All right, give me the starting quarterbacks on Thursday night when NBC rolls that music. It will not be Matt Ryan, and it will not be Joe Flacco starting in the rematch.
It could be Joe Flacco.
I believe Kevin Hogan is. I think the Broncos have named Hogan the starter for Thursday for Denver, and I don't know if Schaub would get the start, but I think Kurt Benkert, the former Virginia QB. I think he's back up to Ryan.
He is,
but I think the third QB is Kurt Benkert from Virginia, so I would assume that he would get the start.
Kurt Benkert, if you had that in the pool being mentioned today, you win.
Well, that's just,
when did Matt Schaub go to the Falcons? Did you know that, Dave?
I'm not sure that I did.
I think I knew Kevin Hogan was with the Broncos. We won't see Matt Ryan even in.
I would have thought, since he's picking up a whole new system, that you might see some of Joe Flacco.
He can pick it up in practice and not tear an Achilles on that carpet at Fawcett Stadium, can he?
But, there's some scary stories. We all remember, I think, what Joe Janis
John
the Redskin.
Yeah.
John, yeah. And when when he went down. But
will we see no number ones at all in this game on Thursday night?
I say no. The years of I've gone up there, it is basically because remember, one of these teams are getting an extra game. So I think they use this as they're all exhibition, but this is probably I think this is even more lenient than the fourth game when, they're really benching everybody.
Right.
This first game in Canton is really kind of, the epitome of the guys that are most likely going to get cut. You're going to see them play the most. And rookies are still going to play, and those guys are going to get their time in. But, your Matt Ryans, your Flaccos, Julio Jones, any big name guy, Grady Jarrett, you're not going to see him at nose tackle for the Falcons on Thursday night. He's going to be probably laughing and then just taking in the festivities of, Canton and watching Hall of Famers walk out, in between commercial breaks and just kind of enjoying the moment before they get prepared for another season.
You will be there. You're always there. You love this event, and it's really so much more than that game, isn't it?
It is. If you love the National Football League or you love football in general, you're just going to love being around the Hall of Fame. And this week in particular, when basically the entire NFL kind of media-wise or whatnot, or, the Hall of Famers, I should say, are all, in Canton. There's nothing like possibly walking through the enshrinement or the busts are of all the guys, and you might look over and you're going to be looking at a bust, and then you actually see that Hall of Famer standing there next to you admiring his own bust. And those were the fun things. You're in the gift shop and you see Carl Eller walking out with 3 or 4 bags of goodies that he just purchased. So those are the fun things where it's gotten a little bit bigger. I should say a lot bigger. We always know that back in the old days, there's always more access and more freedom. But I'll never forget the media hall used to be about the size of a small closet back in the old days, and we'd be in there, but we were actually nestled inside the Hall of Fame. So if you were working late, I mean, you had access to the Hall of Fame. I remember Rod Woodson and his family walking, in the part where all the busts were, and I think I scared him because when he saw me walk out, I think he thought I was going to approach him for an interview or anything. I said, "No, you're good," and I think he got a sign of relief. Now, I don't want to get anybody in trouble with this, and I don't know if I've ever shared this story, but that was also the year that they were putting Jerry Rice's bust up. And I walked out, and the guy who was putting it up, he was basically the maintenance of the Hall of Fame. And they signaled on his radio. I could hear his radio. They're like, whatever your name, whatever his name was, just say his name was Jack. They're like, "Hey, Jack, we need you at the dumpster. The dumpster's overfilling. We need it dumped." So he's like, "Oh, I gotta get this done." I go, I will screw in the bolts to put this thing up.
Yeah.
Now you can't do that. And I go, look, I'm in the hall now. I go, "Here's my ID. I'm not going to take it." And he's like, "You sure?" So I can say that I'm the one who screwed the little bolts in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very
and I will take that to the grave.
For what I say, and for a long time I would answer Jim Brown. I think in this 100 years of the National Football League, the greatest player I ever saw was Jerry Rice.
He was the greatest I've ever seen. And I wasn't, in the heyday of Jim Brown, but I think just to be that good at a wide receiver position.
20 years.
I just think, to speak volumes that we could even say that he was in that realm. I mean, you say, "Oh, this guy was great. That guy was fantastic. He's a Hall of Famer." But Jerry was that good where you say he was the best player, period. And, I mean, he was so special. And my wife knows that I was in love with Jerry Rice. When I got home, I told her about the bus. She was laughing. But sometimes I even think I'm foolish when I watch some of these games. You look at Randy Moss or you look at an Antonio Brown, and I think you kind of lose, the value and the prestige of how good Jerry Rice really was. And I think we probably do that with all the old-timers that, have come and gone. We always see the new guy and think maybe this guy might be better. But, I mean, if you really go back and study it, Jerry Rice was a special, special man.
See, I'm stunned because he's not going Pittsburgh on me. I would have to go. First of all, I don't think you can just say one guy because there's one offense
if you had
and one defense. So because they're both different sides of the ball. But the greatest that I ever saw was Sayers, and then Walter Payton was right behind him. And then on the defensive side, it's got to be Dick Butkus for me.
I think the best defensive player I've ever seen is Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Reggie White was real good.
Reggie White was
great. And I got to watch Reggie White in the USFL uniform, close hand.
Really start.
Yeah. And just eat up people. Mismatches.
Yeah,
no chance.
Truly man against people that couldn't be competing with him. I like the list of Hall of Fame inductees and the presenters. Champ Bailey will be presented by his agent, Jack Reel. Pat Bowlen will be presented by the Broncos trainer, Steve Antonopoulos.
Wow.
Gil Brandt will be presented by Jerry Jones. Tony Gonzalez will be presented by his cousin, Dennis Allen. Ty Law by his friend Byron Washington. Kevin Mawai of the Titans and from LSU by his wife, Tracy. Ed Reed, he's up there in one of the great defensive players of all time. He will be presented by his dad, Ed Reed. And Johnny Robinson, the Hall of Fame player, will be presented by his stepson, Bob Thompson. The speeches are always great. They always go too long, but they're always great.
Gil Brandt by
Jerry Wayne Jones.
I would have loved it. I wonder is Tex Schramm still alive?
No.
Tex is gone, huh? So nobody other than Gil Brandt is really left from that era. Tom Landry's gone. Tex Schramm is gone. Clint Murchison is gone.
Yeah.
Bum Bright gone? Close. If he's not. Sorry, Bum. But
the thing for me is that anybody from that era
It's
The
passed.
Jerry Jones is
Jerry
going
Jones
to.
is 76 years old.
I know it, but Jerry Jones is inducting him. He fired Tex Schramm and Tom Landry. It's hard for me.
Cleaned house.
It's hard for me to believe that Brandt would allow that.
Gave
but
Larry Lacewell Gil Brandt's office.
He did.
Out at Valley Ranch.
He sure did. That's to me. That is unbelievable. But time, as you say, time heals all wounds. I know, Bo, this is impossible. But of all of the classes that you've covered, do you have a favorite?
I don't really think I have a favorite, because there's certain guys I think that just stand out in particular class. Like this class, it's obviously going to be Gil Brandt because he's kind of like the pioneer of the draft and something that I make a living from. So I mean, Gil making it to me is above. I'm just excited for him.
He introduced us, Bo. He introduced
us.
He
did.
At New Cowboy Stadium.
Yep. So it's just. There's so many reasons, and when I look at it, I think the first class I ever did, I think was my least favorite class. It might have been Woodson, but it was just kind of a dull class. But when you get Brett Favre there, and there's a media literally like 7 feet deep of cameras and people stacked on tops of the ladders, and it's all in this little cubicle surrounding Brett Favre. I mean, those are the things you remember, and I remember getting in too late, so I didn't even bother trying to get over there because I was going I'm too short and I was never going to talk to him. I forget who even I talked to that year. So, it's hard to say one particular class, but, nonetheless, there's always, some special ones. But, I think,
on the field to play, you've been at Steelers camp. Can Juju Smith-Schuster and Connor that you watched in college at Pitt and already in the pros be a pretty good back? Can they make Steelers fans forget B&B? Bell and Brown.
I think it'll take a collective team effort to make them forget. I don't think they're going to do it right off the cuff. I think it would be foolish to say that they can live up to that consistently. I think Connor had an exceptional year. I hope he can duplicate it. I mean, watching him at Pitt, I don't see why he couldn't. I mean, he was a fantastic running back at the collegiate level, and he proved to be pretty lethal last year. He just has to stay durable. He's kind of gets those nagging injuries. And then for Juju, it'll be really tricky to see how his game evolves without Antonio there. I mean, I always kind of like to say, Michael Irvin and Alvin Harper, Jerry Rice and John Taylor. It's pretty easy when one of those really special individuals are on the other side. They open up a lot of other avenues for everybody else.
Great point. Having John Taylor on that other side helped Jerry Rice be that prolific. Because and Swan and Stallworth.
I was going right there. Yeah. That tandem, in my mind, is one of the greatest of all time.
It really is.
Because you had Stallworth
and Randy Moss
who
and Chris
did
Carter.
dirty work, and Lynn Swan, who was maybe the most beautiful receiver I can remember watching.
Really was. Route running.
Just graceful.
Maestro,
leaping.
He really was.
Yeah.
But when you think of great duos, Moss and Chris Carter.
Yeah, they're almost underrated. I mean, you talk about two extremely gifted
both
wide
in the
receivers
Hall of Fame, but maybe underappreciated.
Yeah, totally. I think totally underappreciated. I mean, look how long it took. You immediately think Jerry or I don't know. You just don't really think. I think why? Because I think they were so special in their own right. You almost forget that they played together. Maybe that's a bonus to both the Vikings.
They
guys
were so individual, but yet in the ultimate team sport and in the same huddle. But here's you a duo from way back, and it's Al Davis, Cliff Branch, and Fred Biletnikoff.
Ooh.
Oh.
I mean, you got a guy that could take the top off anytime he wanted to, and Branch and Biletnikoff caught everything. You had Dave Casper at tight end.
That's a great trio.
That's mean, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys did this growing up, but every time any football that was thrown hit a tree in the backyard, that was always Cliff Branch's catch.
Oh, very good. I like that.
Cliff Branch could go get it. And we had a texter mention Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, but Bo had already mentioned them, those two. And Alvin Harper, and it was the advent of free agency. It really wrecked the Cowboys' offensive line. If they could have, that was the first wave of free agency. If they could have kept all those guys and Alvin Harper never takes that Buccaneer money, they would have wanted another time or two.
Yeah, that was probably the best team that I've seen dynasty-wise, and just in terms of pure domination. I mean, the Patriots are on another level in their consistency, but the just the pure power, I think, and domination that the Cowboys had over that time span on both sides. And, you know, when you think of Deion Sanders in his heyday, I just don't remember a defensive back literally just shutting down that side of the field. And we can talk about guys being on the island, but, I mean, he was on an undiscovered island. I mean, there's nobody even knew where he was. I mean, that's how remote it was.
It was way out in the atoll in the Pacific that had not been discovered.
Yeah, and you think about the battles with the Niners and the Cowboys for NFC supremacy. I mean, NFL
the brawl. Irvin and Deion Sanders would have every play, just rock fight every play in the mud out at Candlestick.
Yeah.
Well, you were just talking about Antonio Brown, and he's yet to fully practice with the Oakland Raiders, and the Oakland Raiders probably. Nobody said they were going to win the Super Bowl last year, but nobody expected them to be as bad under the great John Gruden as they were. Is this guy going to be a bounce-back guy? Can he help to elevate with Derek Carr? Any kind of hope for the Oakland Raiders to really be good? And was it you, Brett, that said that John Gruden won't make Vegas? I don't believe that.
Never runs on the field.
But I want to know if Bo Marchant thinks that.
I think he will make Vegas. I do think Brown will improve the Raiders. I don't think. But at the end of the day, I don't think Brown cares if the Raiders are that are improved. As long as he's leading the NFL in targets and receptions and yards, and he can do a dance when he scores a touchdown, I think that's what he values most. But he's going to improve. I think, and when you make the sacrifice that they did in terms of money to go out and get him, which the Raiders did, I think it's only expected that they're going to feed Antonio Brown a lot of footballs to make him happy. Because we already said if you don't feed them, you're going to have a problem.
Well, you know what?
You have a big problem.
I got news for you. They decided to spend money too late. They could have had Khalil Mack. They chose to let him go, and now they're going to go after this malcontent in Antonio Brown, who's now injured. Good luck.
I know.
But you're glad you Bears
I
got
agree 100%.
Oh, I love it. It was the greatest thing ever happened to the Bears.
I don't want to make this a Bears segment every week, but I do like the Bears. Nothing like Dave does. I mean, that is his team.
Well, you're smart.
And you know I like the Bears because I love the uniforms, love the tradition. I love them at night when the light catches those helmets just right. I really honestly believe people are sleeping on the Bears.
I don't. And I mean, even when we hung up a couple weeks ago or last week when we were talking about the quarterback rankings and they had Mitchell Trubisky 25, and it kind of parlayed into what teams thought of, the teams on the NFL landscape. Mm-hmm. We hung up and I was thinking about it. I'm like, there is no way possibly. I don't care who's better or worse, but if you're going to label Mitchell Trubisky as the 25th best quarterback, you're going to kind of say that they're the 20 best football team.
Yeah, it's a great correlation.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true because the Bears' defense really was so good last year.
Well,
they
more
had so
dominant
many
on that
turnovers.
Side. But it's not like Trubisky is John Kitna.
No, and I'll tell you, there was a good story. ESPN did a good job today of going through everybody's camp and what their predictions would be, and they talked about the Bears who had no receivers 2 years ago. That was when Trubisky was a rookie; he had nobody to throw to. Now they got 6 or 7 guys. They got more. They're going to be cutting somebody who's really good because they're deep in there. That offense should be much better, and Trubisky will have another year under Nagy's offense.
A lot of these divisions in that division, the NFC North, these divisions are hard to pick. NFC South, I mean, just put them in a hat almost every year. One that's not, and we got in our annual shot at it yesterday. It's just 6 games, though, that you play in the division. It's just 6 out of 16. But you can almost write in, at worst, 5-1 for the Patriots in that AFC East.
Yeah, it's the travesty of all their domination is you would think, and we can always say that one year, Brady tore his ACL against the Chiefs and Miami won the division. That we all kind of put an asterisk next to that, and they still have won 10 games.
They won 11 games that year. With
11 games. Yeah, I think they tied. But they lost, But to think that the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Bills have been so inefficient at winning football games and kind of really challenging for that division almost for 2 decades is a travesty. I remember I did some stat like the Patriots just hypothetically have won 600-some games. It would be like another 5 seasons for the Bills to actually equal. They'd have to go undefeated for like the next 4 years to actually equal what the Patriots have done.
I think the Bills would be better this year, though.
Yeah, but better sure, like we've talked about. I mean, we could probably go through every division and somebody's peaked or shown some signs of life. But even if the Bills are good, they're 8-8 good. They're not somebody you really kind of fear. I mean, like I would fear the Bears. I would fear the Packers. I'd fear the Vikings.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I see your designation. Yeah.
Yeah, I just they say, oh, the Jets are coming down. Well, they might play you good this week, but after that, the Wolves are going to come off for the next 3 weeks before they get it back together and win another game. So.
Real quick, last thing for Beau Marchand from collegetopro.com. High on that list of rated quarterbacks was Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck has not been able to practice. He hurt his calf last spring. He's still not practicing. They're not talking about surgery, though. What do you think is going to happen here?
I hope I don't curse Andrew Luck, because when his injury first started, when he missed the entire season, I was convinced that he wouldn't miss any time. I'm convinced that this isn't a serious injury. And I think if that was the case, they would be doing something to bring in some more strategic drama. I know they got Jacoby Brissett, but I think they would be making some moves to kind of solidify the position. So I don't think it's time to panic yet. I think he'll be ready by week 1.
Thank you, Beau.
Enjoy, Beau.
Yep, Hall of Fame week. Enjoy.
I know you will.
We got to make a pick on the Hall of Fame game on Thursday, don't we?
We shall. Yeah, we have to. Football forecast.
3.5 for who's favored? 34, the over and under.
It's such a low.
They'll have trouble getting to the over and under. Hey, everybody, the All-Star Chevrolet Challenge, it's here. I'm telling you, if it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is the place to go. Take your best written deal from any Mid-South Chevy dealer, to our friends at All-Star Chevrolet, and they will beat it, or you'll get a tank of gas for your win. So now that I've got your attention, yes, summertime, late July is All-Star Challenge month. When you get to let All-Star Chevy beat that deal on any new Chevy or even a pre-owned vehicle, you won't just take the official written deal. It's that simple. If you're hearing me right now, within the sound of my voice, knowing that you got the best deal from the best Chevy testing ground is easy. Find new roads to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch, and you got it. Not South Haven, got to be Olive Branch. Or go to allstarautogroup.com right now and be amazed at all the hot new Chevys and pre-owned vehicles. Don't miss this All-Star Chevy Challenge. Visit All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. You can thank me later.
You're talking tank of gas. I'm talking tankless water heater. And that, of course, is from Conway, 384-3511, the latest in technology's tankless water heater. Used to be expensive. Not anymore. They've come way down, and they're so efficient. You only spend money on the water you're heating. You can, by the way, have a shower going, a washer going, a dishwasher going. You never run out of hot water. You're only paying for the hot water that you use. You're not paying for 75 gallons of water that you continually heat to sit in the tank. Oh, and by the way, a tank never bursts because there is no tank. And the best place to get it is Conway, because they come in, they've got the latest and the greatest, and their service is beyond compare. 384-3511, Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, and the tankless water heater. Back in a minute, halfway through our final hour on this Tuesday edition of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
If you've always thought, hey, I'd look pretty good in a Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus thinks so, too. Lexus is offering you the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Great offers on all 2019 models and special lease options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by Lexus of Memphis, 2600 Ridgeway, and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2019 flagship LS500. Hey, you look pretty good there. Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event at Lexus of Memphis. Experience amazing.
Family Leisure's pool clearance sale is July 8th through the 21st. Above ground pools starting at $11.99. 24-foot pools starting at $17.99. And you can get free upgrades on select pools that include pool filters, liners, and winter covers. Special 12-month financing is available. Plus, half off on toys, floats, and pool games. Summer's just started. There's plenty of time to swim, so make a splash at the Family Leisure Pool Clearance Sale. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
You have to be up in 5 hours. 2 hours. 6 minutes, and you haven't slept a wink. ZzzQuil Pure Z's is a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake with no next-day grogginess. So tonight, try new ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Who you got? Denver minus 2.5, over and under 34.
Ask me Thursday. Come on.
Got to put a lot of research time in the Hall of Fame game there, Dave?
Into Ben Kurt?
I would probably go on the under. I have no idea who's really going to play.
I'm going to watch.
I think anybody who gambles on a preseason, especially this game, they just need juice. They got to have action.
They need action.
There's just no way around.
They can bet on baseball. There's other things to bet on.
You need big men running into each other action.
Woo. Man, I wish I had been born 6'6", 6'7", with my incredible athletic ability that I once had. Portland has just given C.J. McCollum a new 3-year, $100 million extension, which means this deal starts in 21-22. He will make, over a 5-year period, $157 million. That's $31 million and change every year.
Every penny guaranteed.
And I'll tell you what.
He's getting all that.
And Lillard, his backcourt mate, got a deal for $196 million. They believe in those two guys. You know, they've got a big guy that's decent.
Is
there enough there?
That injury was.
Is there enough there, as you like to say?
I think so. I think with the more wide open West, they could be in that mix, couldn't they?
Are they good enough? With all that money committed, are they good enough in that 5-year period to win an NBA title?
Is it a yes or no question?
Yes.
No.
I agree.
They're the Western Conference version of Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. Great regular season, but just can't get through in the playoffs.
So they might be better busting it up at some point.
Probably. So which means C.J. McCollum would probably be the one to go.
Do y'all ever get a little pinch-me moment that Toronto Raptors are the champions of basketball?
It's never a pinch-me moment. It's a realization that if you get the right coach and chemistry, and a superstar, you can win. No, they can't win next year with
boy, next year come playoff time, it could feel like to those fans in the Great North, like that never happened.
Well, I don't know if it'll feel that way because you bask in the glory of great runs for 2 or 3 years. Even though the Tigers lost in 2008, I felt good for at least 2 or 3 years.
But it wears out.
Oh yeah, it comes to an end
because you got to replenish it.
But without Kawhi Leonard, that team wasn't going to win a title.
You think Cleveland's basking in anything right now?
No, because
it's outside your time frame, too.
It's outside the time frame, and let's face it, it did not end well. LeBron's final year
didn't end
and
well.
Then it
Another
went to
parting.
the Lakers, right? So, but I just look at that deal
now. When Kawhi goes in that one time next year, Toronto, it's Kawhi Leonard Day, isn't it? His ring ceremony, standalone, all that good stuff.
I'm just saying. Portland has now committed to this backcourt $350 million, more than $350 million over the next 5 or 6 years. And I don't think there's enough parts when you put that much money into those two guys. 5 years from now, if Memphis is doing this the right way and they keep Jaren Jackson, I like their chances of a championship better than I like Portland's. But by the way, did you see the Zion Williamson quote today, who said, "My intention is to stay here. I don't want to leave this market."
Don't they all say that?
I don't know. I don't believe I ever read Anthony Davis say, "Oh, I'm a New Orleans guy forever."
He signed that new deal.
Did he say he was?
He wasn't unhappy signing it.
No.
I mean, a guy that we love here now, Triple J, before the draft, begged Memphis not to draft him. And after he got drafted by Memphis, says, "Yeah, I always wanted to come to Memphis." That's what they all say. They all say that because they're supposed to.
I thought Zion went a little far because if he is what so many expect him to be, he's going to have New York, Chicago, Los Angeles offers.
I'm certain.
But he's already proving you can make a lot of money being in New Orleans, being in Memphis on marketing.
Well, and the other aspect is, unless the CBA totally changes things, he can make a lot. At this point, it's $50 million more in the same time period staying.
But we also know he can do that and still engineer his exit like Anthony Davis did.
Right. And there's another guy but Anthony Davis in that small market, because he was Anthony Davis, was getting national endorsements. Zion's going to get it, and you know why? Zion's going to get it. And if I were a Duke recruiter, I would be using this ammunition to top players. I would simply be saying, Zion signed his $10 million per year shoe deal because he went to Duke.
I would imagine Coach K's doing that.
I'm sure he is. Coach K's smarter than me, so I'm sure he figured that one out. But
the last 2
that
years,
was an instant brand.
The last 2 years on the court, it ended at the Elite Eight for Duke with Marvin Bagley and with Zion Williams.
And guess what? He was lucky he got to the Elite Eight because UCF had them dead to rights.
Sure did. In a crushing loss.
What is Ezekiel Elliott thinking of?
And why does
going to Cabo for the camp
and
making it so
where
public?
He is? Why does that matter that he's in Cabo?
Because it's almost like you're rubbing it in the face of the Cowboys. You guys go sweat. Go take the pain.
So you're saying he's doing that to his teammates?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not doing it just to be international man of mystery going to Cabo? Because he could be at home in St. Louis.
He
could be in his college hometown or college place of Columbus. He could be in his fashionable Highland Park house. Why Cabo? And why important?
I think it's basically sticking it to the Cowboys.
Well, he's not. But the management, they don't care where he is because they got cell phones and they can negotiate with
because it's all one entity, and he's going.
So is he
I'm going on vacation.
Is this to Jerry and Stephen Jones, or is this to the big old nose guard that's out there in Oxnard?
Well, I think it ends up being both, but I think it's Jerry and Stephen in particular. I don't think he's got anything against the other guy, but if I'm that guy, that nose guard who's toiling in that heat and
hot back, cold tubs,
curfews and everything else that comes with the first couple of weeks.
It's tough at Cowboy training.
And he's at Cabo. Hi, I'm Ezekiel.
Feels like any day the Dak Prescott deal is going to be done, and it's the going market rate.
Wow, that's supposed to be the highest rated ever, the most money ever,
which will be knocked off by the next guy.
Well, sure, but
Mahomes
there's other guys like Patrick Mahomes. I would say that is worth the investment. Is Dak Prescott worth the investment? He's going to get it because he's at the right place at the right time.
He's worth it to them because he's there and he's their guy, and he's proven he's effective.
He's proven he's adequate, in my mind.
I think he's a big-time winner.
You do? I like Dak. Don't get me wrong.
It takes all the other
but I don't
parts
think he's proven
in
that
the
yet.
ultimate team sport. It takes Ezekiel Elliott, and it takes that 5 in front of him in the O-line. It takes the return of Jason Witten,
you're
something at wide receiver. I love Dak Prescott.
Your point is well taken, though.
Is Dak Prescott a winner, or is he a guy that won't lose you games? Like, he might not win the game for you, but he won't do anything to lose it.
I think he's a winner, and most of mine is painted through the prism of what I saw 2013 Egg Bowl in that Willis Reed type return out there on the field, hurting, sad over family loss, and gutsy winner.
I like him. I want him to do well because I like him. I did admire him in a Mississippi State uniform, but I am not convinced as an NFL quarterback that he's an upper echelon guy, that he's a tier 1 guy.
Now, he's getting that.
I'm not saying
he's getting that money because of the market.
He's getting the money because of the market.
He's next in the queue.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And,
like Mike
and like you said, the Cowboys have no choice. They got to do that.
Yeah, they don't. You don't want to go start all over.
But I don't think.
What are you going?
I don't particularly think he's ever going to be as good as Patrick Mahomes.
What are you going out in free agency and getting better than that for the Cowboys?
Nothing. That's why you got to do it. You're in a bad spot if you're Jerry Jones because you got to pay.
Now with that Cowboys defense, they will go if they win anything in the playoffs. They will ride that defense.
Yeah, it's a little like the Bears were last year.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun to watch. I can't wait. I can't believe it starts on Thursday.
But aren't the Cowboys always, and I'm not a Cowboy fan, I'm sure not a hater, but aren't the Cowboys always kind of getting this much attention every year because of that star, because of who they are?
Yeah, they are.
It's been a long time since they made any noise at all.
I honestly don't understand why they are still America's team.
And the most valued at Forbes.
I know.
Best business deal maybe ever made.
Part of that is it's in a football crazy state, and
a lot of that was branded long before Jerry Jones too.
It was branded by Tom Landry,
Roger
Tex Schramm, and Gil Brandt, and guys like Craig Morton, Dandy Don, and Roger Staubach.
Roger the Dodger. Craig Morton was good. And he got the Broncos to a Super Bowl.
He did. That's why I wasn't messing around. But that was great. Dandy Don had to battle two different guys because Dandy Don originally battled Craig Morton, and then Staubach came in.
I know. Staubach, because he was doing his military service.
Yeah.
Dandy Don early on, I want to say in the early years, he had to fend off.
I thought it was Craig Morton.
No, a little bit, yeah. But Eddie LeBaron maybe.
I think Eddie LeBaron's way before that.
Dandy Don was young on those teams. They were new.
Yeah.
But Dandy Don was great.
I hate to say this. I remember when the Cowboys were an expansion team coming into Wrigley Field.
It all goes back to Joe Crawford.
And I remember when the Pittsburgh Steelers were the joke of the league.
Oh, yeah, the Easy W.
Yeah. That was when football was played in Wrigley Field. Still my favorite place to watch a football game.
When the grass was green and the blood was red.
I do remember there was a brand new show at the time called Countdown to Kickoff with Tom Harmon as the host. Frank Gifford was a part of that.
Heisman Trophy winner.
And they, on Saturday, would go around to every NFL stadium. And I happened to, thanks to my uncle, be at Wrigley Field for a day that the Bears were getting ready. This is Sayers and Dick Butkus. It might have been their rookie years. And I watched Harmon do his stand-up for that thing. And I was as impressed with television as I was with the sport.
Uncle Joe take you?
Uncle Joe took me. And then Dick Butkus almost ran me over.
Dave, how was he so sports connected? Because he got you in a lot of things.
He knew I loved sports. And so he was just taking me along. He liked it. He didn't love it as much as me. But my uncle was involved with this very big construction company, and they had done a lot of business with the Hallises and had the clout to get me in. It was fun. This portion of the show is brought to you by Homer. Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Genesis in Olive Branch. Assurance everywhere. That means 10 years, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on every new car. But let me tell you about the Ray Melton side of Homer Skelton. That's certified pre-owns. And by the way, it used to be 60,000 miles, no more, that could be a certified car. These Hyundais are so good, they've actually upped the mileage. And Mr. Melton and his crew, 11 years in a row, they have the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in Memphis. That takes in Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arkansas. #1 in the Metroplex, 11 years. There's a reason why. It's because they do car business the way it should be done. All you got to do is take Lamar into Mississippi, get to Craft Road. It's exit 1, very close. Turn left, and you'll see Well, you'll just see the way it should be done at home or Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. Back in a minute, we put a wrap, including Crunch Time, coming your way on this Tuesday edition of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Get happy with Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Weekday afternoons from 1 till 3 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
I'm here with Anna and Catherine, two of Mr. Charlie Virgos' granddaughters at the Rendezvous restaurant. Okay, ladies, you guys and gals now ship a Rendezvous nacho box. Why had no one thought of that before?
We do. We have no idea. Someone suggested it to us, and at first even we went, can we make that work?
So we sent a bunch of sample boxes to friends and family to only rave reviews.
Okay, so what comes in the nacho box?
You get Rendezvous pulled pork, a bag of Brim's corn chips, a bottle of Rendezvous barbecue sauce, a bottle of Rendezvous seasoning, a tub of Poncho's cheese dip, and a jar of Flo's pickled jalapenos from Felicia Suzanne's.
The box is $99, which includes overnight shipping. It makes 6 to 8 full dinner-sized nachos, or feeds way more if you're just serving it as an appetizer.
It truly is a perfect taste of Memphis. A great gift for family, friends, clients, coworkers, or just some Memphis expats.
Where do we order these delicious nachos?
At hogsfly.com.
Mr. Charlie Virgos' Rendezvous Restaurant, a family-owned restaurant in downtown Memphis in the alley since 1948.
Are you tired of all the clouds and bad weather? Rain brings pollutants that can wreak havoc on your car's finish, but there is someone who can help. Car Wash USA Express has introduced their most advanced car wash yet with the exclusive Polymer Pro Wash, creating a stronger, more consistent protective sealant for your car's finish. Polymer Pro can only be found at Car Wash USA Express, where attendants are always on duty to keep you and your vehicle safe. For more information and locations, visit carwashusaexpress.com. Car Wash USA Express, because a dirty car is a dirty shame.
When I shave with Harry's. A lot of guys buy disposable razors when they travel, but this summer, you don't have to sacrifice quality for price. Harry's delivers high-quality, travel-friendly shave supplies at a great low price, just $2 per cartridge. Join the 10 million who have tried Harry's. Get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just use stats at harrys.com. Harry's cares about giving back. 1% of sales are donated to charitable organizations. This summer, Harry's has a special offer for listeners of this show. New customers get $5 off a trial set from Harry's with code STATS at harrys.com. That means you get a razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping when you use code STATS at harrys.com. And when you run out, remember, Harry's replacement cartridges are just $2 each. And if you prefer to shop in store, Harry's razors are also available at Walmart and Target.
You have to be up in 5 hours. 2 hours. 6 minutes, and you haven't slept a wink. ZzzQuil Pure Z's is a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake with no next-day grogginess. So tonight, try new ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil.
Hi friends, I'm Shane Stanford from Christchurch, Memphis. Here at Christchurch, we believe in Memphis and we believe in you. And every Sunday at 11 o'clock, we want to invite you to come hear a biblically based, Christ-centered message that talks about God's love for you and His guidance in your life. And also to hear an interview by amazing people who are doing incredible things for our city and our community. So don't miss us, 11 o'clock, right here on this station, every Sunday morning. I'm Shane Stanford. Remember, you matter.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Ahead of us. Welcome back in. The final portion of the show brought to you by the Butcher Shop. Mark it down Friday. I wish we could go. Hamburger Friday. We got to do a Hamburger Friday. I just love going there. This is where they take the steak that they have. They grind it up every Friday morning, probably around 10 o'clock, 10:30. And then at 11 o'clock, they've got that meat all prepared, fresh as could be, and they grill it right in front of you. You walk through the doors, you pick up a plate. This is, of course, the Butcher Shop at the Agri Center.
You're starving me to death right now. Go. Keep going.
You just walk. How do you like your burger? I think you like it medium, right?
Medium. I used to be more on the rare side, but I'm ratcheting
medium
up
well?
to. I quit wanting to be a caveman. It's got to be cooked now.
Well, that's
it really a change
that's
for me.
a sign of, don't you?
Yeah.
Old.
Yeah. There's a lot of signs there.
And I keep getting younger because I
know
it on the rarer side. I go medium rare, and then I'm going to put tomato, and I'm going to put onion, and I'm going to put lettuce on there, a little ketchup.
You're starving me.
I'm not doing mayo. And you know what they got? They got the greatest little.
I'm with you. I don't want mayo on my table.
Sliced pickles. These are like deli pickles, kosher dills that are so good. And they do this. It's an unbelievable price. The freshest hamburger, the best hamburger is the best meat.
My dad loved mayo. I can't stand it. I can't stand the sight of it.
I can't either. And my wife, she eats so much mayo, it's scary. Scary.
Can't do it.
It's a little
that
like.
burger sounds good, though.
It's a little like her salt. She likes a little something with her salt. She likes a little burger with her mayo. Is how she.
I gave up the salt. 2010. I don't add
gave
anymore.
up salt? You still have some on there. You don't go.
Well, if it's
don't
in the
put
preparation,
any,
I ain't gotten that.
But you don't ask for extra salt.
No,
well,
I never
that's
had.
Insulting to the chef, I've always thought.
Yeah, it is. I don't want to make the kitchen.
Doesn't bother her though. I'm going to get hell to pay for that when I get home. Bottom line is, I should point out, it's not just Hamburger Friday too. The other great things about the Butcher Shop: Saturday and Sunday night specials. Football's coming. They got TVs everywhere. $25 entrees, big time stuff. With salad, with bread, with baked potato. It's terrific. Guy, you just got to go to the Butcher Shop. I guess we better get to it. It is time for Crunch Time.
This is for all the babies. Crunch Time.
You can feel the excitement. You are looking live.
It's crunch time.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
In your life have you seen anything like that?
We'll take questions again for the student athletes at this time, please.
He's a professional. He's pretty classy for his age.
In the crunch time, that's the frustrating part.
Little Penny could make some appearances this year.
Okay, I'm not huge into stats.
Has it always been this way?
It's crunch time, so I got a different mind state.
What's happening, big dog? How you doing?
Is this thing working?
Immediately when the buzzer sounds, he lets out this shriek.
You throw those ears forward. He was in stroke mode.
This is stupid.
It's obviously crunch time.
It's time for Taco Bell Crunch Time, brought to you every day by Taco Bell, home of the Crunch Wrap, including the Crunch Wrap Supreme, a warm, soft flour tortilla that's filled with seasoned beef and jam-packed with warm nacho cheese sauce, with a crunchy tostada shell with sour cream, lettuce, and tomato. Then it's all wrapped up and grilled. It will fill up your stomach. It will fit in your hand, but it won't take a lot out of your wallet. Perfect on your way home tonight. The Crunch Wrap Supreme. You can only get it Taco Bell. Taco Bell is home of the Crunch Wrap, and each and every afternoon, they bring us Taco Bell Crunch Time. Dave, I've learned today that the Cardinals, with the blockbuster deal that will push them to October success with the acquisition of Zach Rosscup. No, not Lee Grosscup, the old Utah quarterback and college football announcer from the 70s. The left-handed pitcher traded for cash from the Dodgers. You think the Dodgers are giving up anything in a playoff run that can really help somebody else?
Did you see what his ERA was in the last few games?
I didn't.
It was like double digits. It was double digits. Yeah, they gave him up for cash.
Do you remember Lee Grosscup doing games?
I do. I just learned Major League Baseball has fined but not suspended Indians starting pitcher Trevor Bauer for Sunday's tantrum when he threw the ball over.
A sincere
the
apology will go a long way.
I think, you know what? And I was just going to say, because of the way
with any of us in anything
acted, because of him taking responsibility and said I was wrong,
we're gonna miss
and I'm really sorry. I was just frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm glad baseball didn't suspend.
They're the easiest words to say and they're hardest to show, but if it's in sincerity, I think it helps you. I could have done without. Does it really matter where Ezekiel Elliott's spending his holdout time? Dateline Cabo sounds better, more fashionable than Dateline St. Louis, Dateline Columbus, Dateline Highland Park. I don't care where he is. Do you?
I do think location matters. That's a little like when Chandler Parsons was injured and he's going on vacations
to
with
Cabo.
Beautiful girls.
Cancun.
I think it was one of those two.
Yeah.
Cancun, a.k.a. Cancun.
But it was his cash. He can do what he wants.
I'm just saying.
He was hurt.
To me,
what is it you could have done?
That's just not kosher. What I could have done with that was the PGA decision to trim the cut line to 65 in ties instead of 70, and to do away with that extra pay for those up to 78 players.
I like it.
They are basically saying, we're cutting out sort of the middle guy. We only want the best to get money.
And I think it'll make for less crowded Sundays and a little more fun. What do you keep an eye on tonight? I know one of the obvious.
Oh, come on. I'm
Busch
keeping
Stadium.
an eye on the North
Wish we had the beaming machine where we could beam up there tonight.
Oh, I wish you did.
Drew will see it in his life. He'll see the beaming machine.
Did you see, by the way, they've got this jetpack for that Bubba Watson and Oakley. I don't know if it's a spoof.
It's coming.
I'm
going to keep a close eye tonight on Houston at Cleveland. That could be.
No, you're not. You're only watching the Cubs and the Cardinals.
That could be an ALCS preview come October. The Nationals just 4 behind the Braves. We'll keep an eye on that. Drew Smiley, the old Razorback, pitching tonight for the Phillies at home against the Giants. Rays Red Sox. That matters in wild card in the American League. Milwaukee at Oakland late. But the big one, Yu Darvish or Adam Wainwright. Who goes longer?
Yu Darvish. Cubs are going to knock Wainwright out in the third. It'll be over.
Gone in the third?
Wainwright's going in the third.
I'm going to go the other way. Wainwright goes longer. Cardinals knock Darvish out in the third. I want to be completely oppo you.
We will be contrary all night and most of this week.
I don't want any snarky texts from you tonight either.
I'm not texting you. I decided I am not going to text you because here's the problem. When I'm right and the Cubs win, now you're mad. And I don't blame you. And if you text me, if the Cardinals win, I'm going to be mad.
I've never stayed mad at you long.
Rethink that one. That was fun today.
It was.
We do want to thank Daryl Smith. We got the final word from the WGC.
Daryl was great to us.
FESJ, he was, and he was great this whole weekend. Like I say, it couldn't have been better. And then Brent Beard on college football, Beau Marchant on already close to opening day. I cannot wait. Tomorrow, TJ Reeves, John Gowen, Chris Raby, maybe some more surprises. Man, it's almost all here. Football is almost upon us, the Thursday game, but we are absolutely centered on Busch Stadium tonight. The Cubs, the Cardinals. Enjoy. We'll do this again. Same place, same time tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender. AC trouble? Make your first call your last call. Call Air Doctors of Memphis, 901-598-HVAC. Owner Matt Davis is a third-generation full-service air conditioning specialist. Air Doctors of Memphis services all major brands, and labor and parts are guaranteed 100%. Their yearly AC checkup is only $60, and 24-hour emergency service is billed at normal rates. Your comfort is their highest priority. Contact airdoctorsofmemphis.com or call 901-598-HVAC.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infinity of Memphis, and we've got a new Infinity crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like two engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own, and only Infinity has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And QX50 MSRP starts at only $36,550, which is less than its Acura, Audi, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
MSRP excludes destination charge, tax, title, license, and options. Infinity of Memphis or online at infinityofmemphis.com.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
One thing I've learned over the years, no matter what you're buying, the smart thing to do is to buy from someone who sells quality products, delivers great personal service, and knows their business inside and out because they have over 2 decades of experience. When you're talking about insurance, it's more important than ever because you're counting on your agent to come up with a policy that's exactly what you need from a company you can absolutely depend on, be there when you need him, and save money all at the same time. When you deal with William Glass or any of their staff at the Glass Group, you're not only in good hands, you'll find out that you can put the money a lot of insurance companies spend on advertising on the World Series or college football or basketball in your pocket while you enjoy first-rate coverage on your home, auto, and business with things like Rate Lock on your car. So you're not canceled for a wreck or a speeding ticket. Guaranteed replacement on your home and contents, earthquake coverage, and outstanding rates for business on workman's comp, commercial auto, and any other business need you may have. Worried about mayhem? Call William Glass at the Glass Group, 843-1190. They'll handle it for you, 843-1190. When it comes to your pet, you want nothing but the best in boarding, daycare, and grooming, and we say thank you, Memphis, for voting Barks and Recreation #1 in Best Pet Grooming in this year's Memphis Most competition. We're also #1 in boarding with indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please, while they're being cared for by the best staff in Memphis, one that includes overnight staffing to ensure the safety and happiness of your pet 24 hours a day. And we're #1 in daycare with indoor and outdoor play areas, individual and group playtime, 4 walks a day, and small play groups to make sure that your pet gets the individual attention they deserve. Make your reservations now at barksdaycare.com or call us at 901-509-0909. Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove, between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis.
Did you know that paying a traffic ticket is an admission of guilt? It is, and it could result in higher insurance rates and add points to your driving record, which could result in your license being suspended or even revoked. It's amazing how simple things can turn into major problems, and it's why no matter what legal problem you may have, you need to know exactly what your rights and your options are. You need an attorney who is only interested in one thing, fighting for you. And I've got one for you, Chelsea Rainey. You can call her for a free, convenient phone consultation at 901-647-4861. Traffic tickets, driving while impaired, drug charges, misdemeanors, divorce. If you live in the Metro Memphis area and you've been accused of a crime, you need to speak to attorney Chelsea Rainey about your options and your legal rights. Chelsea Rainey is dedicated to advocating and protecting your rights. Your initial consultation is free, and attorney Chelsea Rainey is always on call, always available at 647-4861. That's 647-4861.
You finally found it, the vehicle of your dreams. You know it's got everything you want, you just don't know the price. Until now, shop one price pre-owned vehicles today at AutoNation Ford Wolf Chase. Now, every pre-owned vehicle is clearly marked with our lowest price, guaranteed. That means no negotiations, no pressure, just one low price. And every certified AutoNation pre-owned vehicle is inspected in 125 different places, so there's no worries. Plus, your purchase is protected with a money-back guarantee for 5 days or 250 miles, whichever comes first. And as America's largest automotive retailer, You can shop One Price pre-owned vehicles from over 250 stores coast to coast. That's something you can count on. Shop over 20,000 One Price pre-owned vehicles at AutoNation.com or visit AutoNation Ford Wolfchase. Drive pink, drive safe, drive now. AutoNation. Certain terms, conditions, and restrictions may apply. See store for complete details.
Southern Sports Report is being brought to you today in part by Gateway Tire and Service Centers, where there's always one thing you can count on. We go the distance for you. So before you hit the road for a trip across country or just across town, drop by any one of our 12 Memphis area locations. Whether it's tires or auto repair, you can always count on one thing. At Gateway Tire and Service Center, we go the distance for you.
Memphis Sports Radio welcomes you to the following presentation of Southern Sports Report.
The following program contains frank and honest commentary on sports. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Gateway Tire and Service Center's Southern Sports Report with John Rainey, the Rain Man, and Whitey Mills with Stat Attack Sports in Springdale, Arkansas. You can join the show by dialing 360-8255. Can't get to a phone? Email us at theboys@southernsportsreport.com.
Southern Sports Report is being brought to you today in part by All-Star Sports, celebrating 41 years of excellence in sports handicapping. Van Atkins Jewelers in New Albany and Oxford. Why Van Atkins? Because you know she's worth it. Parks and Recreation, luxury doggy daycare and boarding in the heart of East Memphis. Voted #1 in Memphis Most 3 years in a row. And of course, Gateway Tire and Service Center. At Gateway, we go the distance for you.
Phone lines are open, and first-time callers are welcome, needed, and appreciated. And now, live from the All-Star Sports Studios, here's John Rainey, the Rain Man, and Whitey Mills.
And welcome back to Southern Sports Report.